Also remove from tile, stone, grout, and granite countertops. And if you have pets, our pet urine removal treatment called PERT can eliminate more than 99% of pet urine odors and bacteria. We guarantee we'll get the stains out too. And an ABC ChemDry cleaning can even reduce airborne bacteria in your home by up to 89%. Now that's clean. Protect your family. Trust ABC ChemDry, your healthy home authority. Call us at 315-738-1111 or visit abcchemcleaners.com.
Hi, this is Lori with Express Employment Professionals. Are you looking for a new job, a career change, a position within your field? Express Employment Professionals is the staffing firm for you. Express has multiple job opportunities across many industries throughout our region. Are you an IT professional? Find that perfect company now. CNC machinists, HVAC and boiler mechanics, we've got the job for you. Are you a warehouse worker, machine operator, forklift driver? Find a better job now. Industrial painters, sheet metal workers, find that new job now. Carpenters, welders, the skilled trades, you're in demand. Bookkeepers, supply chain specialists, and administrative professionals, start a new career today. Our process is easy. Go to expressmohawkvalley.com to complete our online application and apply now. Our recruiters will call you to set up a meeting. You can also call our office at 315-790-5723. Express Employment Professionals. We make it our business to put you to work.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools, ready to learn, destined to lead.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson and Powersports of Utica. 35% off or 2-for-1 on all boots, hoodies, and big and tall. First bike night of the year, May 12th, with Showtime, Piggy Pants, plenty of cold beer. We'll see you there. Welcome to Powersports of Utica, where you can take home a brand new C4 600 four-wheeler with all-wheel drive, a winch, and power steering for $65.99. And join us May 12th for our first bike night featuring Showtime, Piggy Pat's Barbecue, and plenty of cold beer.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
What the hell? Stop it, for God's sakes. That thing's got to go.
I don't understand.
That little Yoko thing. You know, it's actually a Russian group. And every time that plays, they ding us. I think it's some sort of like the greatest hoax of all time. The Russians coming after us for breaking their copyright rules.
I mean, Smitty said, I thought you got rid of that. 3 times I've gone in here. So here we go. Number 8.
I'm just saying.
Number 8.
The Russians are coming for us. Good morning. It's 6:20. Good morning. Good morning. A lot of stuff going on. So yesterday, the Board of Education in Utica voted to, it sounds like it, Andrew, right? Yoko Ono. It sounds just like her. But there's an actual song. I'll have to play it a little later on so we can really get dinged by the Russians. And it's not that bad of a song. But anyway, yesterday, the Board of Education in Utica voted to keep Karam on administrative leave. We went the entire day without hearing from Bob Cardillo once again. He must be guilty, right? He's not talking to us. He's got to be guilty of this. Come on, Bob.
I wouldn't say
Don't
that.
be afraid. Don't be afraid, Bob. You can do it.
Yes,
you and I
can.
go way back. Let's
Yes,
pretend
you can.
We're going to pretend we're smoking a cigar in his giant humidor room. He had a beautiful cigar room.
As a matter of fact, if we're out of cigars, I can roll one for you.
Bob or Ann?
I was going to say,
Sorry.
there you go.
Bob, come on, man. And the reason he's running for mayor, I want to clear his name. I want him to come out and just say, listen, I'm not the Board of Education member that walked through the superintendent's office and said, he's coming back. I don't believe he's the guy. I don't think he would do that. Bob is too smart for that. So I don't know what people are telling you, Bob, but come on, man. Come on the air. I've reached out to him. You've reached out to him. We're going to reach out again here this morning. Bob Cardillo running on the Republican line for mayor of Utica against Galimi, who is in here this morning.
Yes, we'll talk with Mike Galimi coming up later this morning.
Hey, you know what, Bob? If you don't want to come on, we'll take your young little his
counterpart.
No, his campaign guy, the young guy that comes in with the camera and stuff.
Oh yeah,
we'll take him too. Maybe we'll reach out to him this morning. Anyway, Bruce Karam staying on administrative leave. Karam is also appealing the decision of Judge Del Conte, who said the board had every right to put you on administrative leave. I'm going to tell you, if he had a contract that did not, I'll just say this, based on the audio that we've heard, if Bruce Karam has a contract that would prevent him from being placed on administrative leave after the stuff that we've heard on these recordings and the stuff in that report, I'd say I want Bruce to negotiate my next contract.
Same here.
Because no one should be able to keep their jobs after some of that stuff. But listen, and there's no firing yet, so people are up in arms about that. Hey, he has a contract. He has the right to due process. He has the right to follow the process that is placed inside his contract. And right now he has appealed. Therefore, you got to wait to see what comes with the appeal. This is National Teacher Appreciation Week. And
no one appreciates the teachers as much as Bruce Karam.
That is true. That's what he'll tell you. He will say that. Barry Manilow.
Why are you laughing?
Barry Manilow.
I don't know. Is
that Barry Manilow is coming to the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. President Trump has been, just going through these news headlines this morning. President Trump has been convicted in that defamation and sexual assault trial in New York City. Here's the problem, And I know there are people right now that are so loyal to the president. They say you can go out on Fifth Ave and shoot somebody. Now it seems you can go out on Fifth Ave and sexually assault a woman, and that's okay. And you do wonder, why did it take so long? But who are we to ask? In this world of sexual assault, in this day and age, you don't ask that question. But in this case, it's okay to question this woman. But I would say this. First of all, he didn't put up a case, and I think there was a strategy there. And the strategy, he didn't testify. There is a deposition, however, and they did not put up even a defense. And I believe that the general thought was, I've lost this case. I'm not going to put up a defense, so I can say this was so ridiculous we didn't even put up a defense. I think that's the mental.
It could
that's
be.
the mentality of this whole thing. But here's where it went bad for President Trump. And I know there are a lot of people right now that don't pay attention to the Trump news at all. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me. I'm plugging my ears. I get it. I understand. But when they were showing him pictures,
yes,
and he was pointing out now remember, he kept saying, she's not my type. Just look at her.
Me.
Just look at her. Would I be interested in that? Look at that woman. Right? So, but when they're showing pictures, they said, point out who the people here are in here. He's pointing people out. And he points at the woman suing him and said, that's Marla, my wife. Now, she said, or he, I forget who was doing the deposition, said, look at that again. That's not your ex-wife. And he said, that's when he said, well, this is so blurry, I can't see it. You can't, but it really wasn't blurry. The difference was, and here it is.
The blurry is in the eye of the beholder.
The blurriness here is the fact that she was probably 25 or 30 years younger. And I think that President Trump is one of those who, you aren't my type now, but 25 years ago, maybe. And I think that's the problem here. So when he pointed out, so in the first breath, he's saying, I'm not interested. Just look at her. You think I'd be interested in that? And then points her out as his ex-wife. That was a moment. In the deposition, I don't even think that was used in the trial, to be honest.
Conservative John in Boonville says he actually did have a defense. It was, quote, she's ugly.
That's really what his defense was. You know what? This is where we're in trouble. This is where we're in trouble in America and in the world, because a lot of people around the world are all into Donald Trump. But here's where we're in trouble, is people begin to think they, too, can be Donald Trump. And they go into their workplace, and they're like, when somebody questions them, it's like, just get away from me. I wouldn't be interested in you. Not even, you're just not my type. You're ugly. And they get fired. And they're like, wait a minute. This shouldn't happen. I should be able to say this. I have the right to say this. No, you don't. But Trump gets away with it. It's amazing how this guy can get away with it. Now, of course, he's a former president, which gives him even more ability to get away with stuff. But when people try to do Trump and you're not Trump, danger. Be careful of that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like listening to the audio tapes of Bruce Karam, that everybody's comparing it to Sopranos. Okay. But I think I would say that there's a little bit of Trump in there. And there's a little bit, but the problem is Bruce Karam is not Donald Trump. Or maybe he is. Remember, he's still the superintendent of schools. Who knows? But I'm just saying that kind of, you get into this situation where you feel you can say whatever you want to somebody. And why? Why do you want to say whatever you want to someone? Does it make you feel better to say somebody's ugly?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're mad at them, sure.
I guess you're lashing out, and you're. But I'm going to tell you, your worst moment, you're not going to call your wife ugly. You know what? You don't look good in those jeans, okay? That's fine. Yeah, you look fat in those jeans. I'm finally answering the question. So you wouldn't do that. You would not do that. You know why? Because you know better. It'd be very, very bad. Anyway, the superintendent, who is still superintendent of schools, Bruce Karam, is appealing, and he will remain on administrative leave. And last night, the Board of Education voted to accept the investigator's report. And I have to say, Bob Cardillo voted to keep Karam on administrative leave.
Yeah.
No, he did last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
okay.
good. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that.
No, I
I threw
actually
that in
didn't
there
know
for you.
that, but I mean, did anybody vote to bring him back right now?
Yes. I believe Don Dawes.
Are you kidding me?
What do you mean?
That they voted that let's end the investigation. Come on back. You just come on back, take your seat back.
Dawes, whatever Dawes voted for would have brought him back. Yeah. Don Dawes. And I don't think Testa voted, but I could be wrong. Maybe somebody can clarify that for us last night.
I mean, wait. That's not. I mean, that's significant. I think.
I don't know what significant is anymore, to be honest with you.
You know what? Same here. And I guess, and then I'm not making a comparison, or maybe I am making an analogy between the two. Who knows what to believe with Trump anymore? The things
That
you
is
hear.
true. Is it
who
the
knows
world's-
what
is
to
it-
believe about Hunter Biden? To be honest with you,
You're right.
Right.
And who knows what to believe in the news? Who knows what to believe if is Joe Biden actually alive? We don't know that for sure.
Did you see him yesterday?
It was bad yesterday.
I thought it was his impression of Dirty Harry. He was like, "You ever cut a man's budget before you check his 501c3?"
Go ahead, make my what's my line? Last night, we watched Jury Duty, which Lafache is the actress that plays in that. She's from here, and she is an attorney. That show is so good. Did you watch it?
I have not seen it.
Devin, you've seen 4 episodes, right?
Yeah, I watched a couple more yesterday.
Oh,
I have like
boy.
one more left. I'm
This is
holding off.
what stinks about this series, is it's going to end. You want it to continue and be like, okay, what trial's coming next? And there isn't one. And now with the writer's strike, even though they're in a situation where you're just doing theory, you've got a writer in there that's coming in and saying, well, why don't you say this, and here's a good line. Try to throw that line in there or something like it's that. It's done that way, like Larry David style, where they're basically doing some ad lib. And it is just such a funny series. And the concept now makes sense. So you have this actor, and I'm like, well, they're going to recognize that guy. And yes, they do. They recognize the one actor, and the people are getting autographs, but all the other actors you've never seen before. It's really a good series. And it's you can get it on Amazon. You got to search for it because it's not right up there on the top. It's from Freebie or something like that, some network.
Yeah, it's interesting. But I believe she was saying what if you're an Amazon.
If you're an Amazon subscriber, just by going to Amazon, you do not have to be a subscriber.
Yeah, gotcha. Yep.
Davey, there's a couple of other stories. Vernon Downs, I know we have that story. Vernon Downs says they're in trouble. This just seems to be Groundhog Day, doesn't it?
Well, it does. Look, they get a tax extension. It's funny because we've talked to Jeff Garrell before, and I'll tell you, the first time I met Jeff Garrell was in the lobby of Vernon Downs. He had a press conference. I believe it was when they reopened, and I want to say it was give or take 10 years ago. It might even be longer than that. He stood there and took reporters' questions for like maybe 90 minutes, 2 hours, and it was whatever you wanted. And I, to be honest with you, at that time, I didn't realize, Jeff Garrell, like the owner of Vernon and Tioga Downs, I thought it was like his press guy or his VP of something. And anyway, as he explains it, he doesn't really turn a profit. That Vernon is a losing enterprise, right? When you factor in all the salaries of the employees,
I guess I would think
insurance.
though that they there's the restaurants, there's the wedding, a great venue for weddings. There's the
hotel.
racing, there's the hotel, and now you add one of the most profitable things in a casino is not blackjack or any of the other games. It's the slot machines. That's where the casinos make their money.
Yeah, so
and they have that. They have all of that.
So what has been done in the past is the revenue that Vernon Downs gets from they call them video lottery terminals, the percentage that he owes to the state, essentially they allow him to keep a certain amount of it as long as he's redirecting it back into the property, into the enterprise.
Okay, so that's not a big moneymaker for them.
Well, Vernon Downs isn't. I think Tioga Downs is much more successful and much more popular.
Right.
So my point being, he been
wants
allowed
the break. He wants the break to continue.
Correct. He wants to be able to keep some of the money, and
Well,
the previous agreement was to redirect it. I don't know exactly what the terms are of what he's looking for now, but he says without it, they lose hundreds of thousands of dollars, I
And
think, a month.
And
he claims.
to be fair, they are competing against a giant, the most successful casino in certainly in New York State and much of the Northeast. So that it is an issue. But here we are coming up on summertime where they should do really well with horse racing, and it is an awesome throwback. It's a really cool night out or whatever you want to do. So there you go.
And I think I hate to say this, but I think that's part of the problem. That's how it's looked at. That's an awesome throwback. That's not what we do every Friday night. That's maybe what we do twice a summer type of a thing.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Davey, is there another story that you wanted to, so there's that, and then what else was there that you had?
Oh, Mike Hennessy got kicked off the ballot.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Not
I
enough
saw
signatures.
that. He was short by like 15 after they went through and canceled some of the signatures.
God, they had 1,500. They needed 1,000.
Yeah, I want to say he had 500. He had 1,571. He had 585 canceled. So it was like 12 or 15 signatures he was short. He's holding a press conference. I think I got two different advisories. It's either this morning or tomorrow morning.
Let's try to get him this morning. I do have to say that I'm going to disagree, and I know that people are, let the people decide. That's fine, but you got to get on the ballot. And,
I agree with you.
And while I don't love the signature process that we go through, it is the process. Mike knows the process. He's done this forever. So it is normal for a campaign to challenge another campaign's signatures. It's just normal. They have people that do it, people that are really good at it, and people can be knocked off the ballot. Candidates can be knocked off the ballot. Happens all the time. Now Mike is going to say this is un-American and it's not giving the people the choice. But the fact is, you still have to get there. You've got to be able to follow the rules and get there. And if there were 500 signatures, more than 500 signatures it had to be, because I think they had 1,500, so it had to be more than 500.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah,
I mean. That's just, you just can't go out willy-nilly and get anybody to sign. You got to be able to say, here are the signatures. And, many will complain and say this. If you can't get the signatures that are needed, then maybe you wouldn't be able to maintain the office.
This is completely.
And I'm not saying that to him. I'm just saying that's what critics will say.
This is complete speculation on my part. It sounds to me, when you have more than a third of your signatures canceled, it sounds like it could have been. Remember what happened with Chuck Lester, where he had didn't put the office and he got pages were wiped out. You just wiped the whole page out. The fact that 1/3, actually probably more than 1/3 of the 1,500 signatures that he got were discounted. It sounds like there may have been something with the paperwork or the carrier who carried for him.
Yeah.
Because in order to wipe out a third, it sounds like they were just knocking pages off. Like, this doesn't count. This
is
doesn't
the problem.
count.
But you can't just have it like, all right, I'm going to go to the mall and collect signatures from people who don't live here. Or
you're right. I'm not disagreeing.
Get 2 or 3 signatures out of one person. I mean, it just doesn't. So, and anybody is going to, and Hennessy says he won't do that. All right, that's fair enough. But the average candidate is going, if they find that there are bad signatures, they're going to go after them. And if you're an incumbent and you can put yourself in a position where you don't have to spend the money against an opponent, then find me an incumbent that wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Listen,
now,
there's a process to run for office.
He can still appeal, and I'm assuming he will appeal. So let's see what happens there.
I believe there's some mention of taking legal action to try to get back on the ballot.
Yeah. Okay. This is National Teachers Week, and a salute to all the teachers out there. But I don't know if you noticed, in New York State, they've created a new law that, how students are not allowed in the teachers' room? Every school has a teachers' room. That's where the teachers go. Used to be that's where they would go to smoke. Remember that? And but they don't do that anymore. But teachers go in. They have their privacy. They can go in and have lunch inside the teacher's room. Well, they've announced that starting tomorrow, students will be able to go into the teacher's room, and no one can stop them. However, if you do go into the teacher's room, there might be some discipline. That's kind of what's going on at the southern border right now. So Biden is saying we're lifting up these restrictions, And, oh, by the way, our laws are going to be tough. Well, somebody ought to tell the thousands and thousands of people lining up and getting ready for this to happen. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News is on the line right now with an update on what's going on down there. Basically, Biden is saying our rules are actually going to be tougher. But apparently nobody believes that because they're lining up. This is going to be very, very scary in the next 48 hours.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, so a couple points off of what you just said. First of all, the president took some questions yesterday from the press after his meeting with McCarthy as well as McConnell and other congressional leaders. And when he was asked about Title 42, he pretty much had this line where he said, it's going to be chaotic for a while. So certainly that that has raised some eyebrows and raised some concern throughout the halls of Congress. But then you also have our Bill Maloogian, who's been along the border and doing a really phenomenal job covering this. He had a tweet yesterday where he had spoken with Tony Gonzalez from the state of Texas, a representative there, and apparently Gonzalez had spoken with the president of Guatemala, and he was told that they're expecting about 80,000 migrants from Venezuela to be heading towards the border within the next couple of days. So those numbers are pretty astonishing.
Yeah, and I don't know how, we're in a very difficult position where having our military stop these people, what you don't want is this to get out of control. All of a sudden, rocks are being thrown, and then before you know it, people are being shot. It's a terrible look. It's just, this has the makings of a horrible disaster. Not a little, I wouldn't describe it as a little chaotic. We'll see, but I hope it's a little chaotic. That would be a best-case scenario, I would think.
Yeah, well, I think first of all, I don't think the president used the word little. He said it's going to be chaotic. So he didn't really, hide the fact that this is going to be a situation that's going to be quite significant. And I think you guys have just seen the images, the lines of migrants waiting to get into the country, as well as all the people out in the streets of El Paso. And certainly, what we understand, too, based off the reporting we have, is that some of these migrants, while they were sleeping, were handed papers that pretty much told them to turn themselves in to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And from some of the people that Bill talked to, it doesn't seem like they're going to be doing that. So certainly something's going to have to happen between the next couple hours in order to kind of control this surge. And certainly we've heard there's action being taken. The president's sending 1,500 troops down to the border to kind of alleviate some of the administrative work Border Patrol has to do so they can focus on law enforcement. Yeah. And he also, from what we understand, too, spoke with President Obrador from Mexico for about an hour yesterday.
Okay. Wow. Well, this is going to be something to watch. There's no doubt about it. Ryan Schmelz, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, and good luck out there.
Hey, thank you very much, guys.
Ryan Schmelz from Fox News.
It's funny because somebody sent me a message and said, you got to go watch the Biden speech today. This was yesterday afternoon. And last night, I put it on my phone. I was doing a couple things, like laundry, like house stuff, and I just put it on the speaker and I let it play. And when I was kind of like doing the dishes and I heard him say, it's going to be chaotic for a little while, and I was like, whoa. Yeah. Karine Jean-Pierre is going to be running out to explain that comment in a second.
It's funny that I have these moments where I will get – I called the White House yesterday. And I gave him So I gave some advice. I said, what you got to do is start injecting him with caffeine. Give him espressos. I do 4, usually by midday, by noon. And I'm going to tell you something. Not only do I get all my work done, but I clean the entire house. I work from home. I mop the floors. I make commercials. I build a shed. It's amazing what you can accomplish with 4 espressos in you.
Yeah.
I mean, he could turn everything around. He could turn everything around. But it is so bad when you get the fatigue, and I don't know if it's post-COVID fatigue that I get, but it is so bad. I reached that point where I need a 20-minute nap. That's another thing they might be able to do, although I wonder if he's napping in between questions. Sometimes I wonder about that. But I do think that that fatigue, as you get older, can be debilitating. And I kind of feel like that happens to him because you have these moments where you can tell he's had the espresso. He seems to be doing pretty good. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's mumbling his words and creating half a sentence. I don't know.
Yeah, and
you can just see the people in the background. Quick, quick! They're scrambling. They're moving all around. Get the Nespresso machine, and they fill him back up, and away he goes.
Well, there was something last week with New York City Mayor Eric Adams about did he ask the White House to create a bill that would ban states from relocating migrants to New York City?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I have nothing about that. I don't know anything about that.
I meant to bring it up last week, and with this happening now, I'm sure it's going to be back on the front page again. But I just find it ironic that, to me, that is so ironic, because when Republican governors began busing migrants to Democratic states, there was this, that's racist. It's so racist.
Well, listen, there's in no scenario is, hey, you guys aren't experiencing it. We're just going to put them on buses and take them into your cities. I understand cities away from the border should have to experience the same thing, but that is not the way this should be done. I feel
nothing is being done to address it, though.
I understand, but it is not the way you handle people. I feel like that's a bad move, and I get it. The governor of Texas has done it. I think the Florida governor, DeSantis, has done it as well. I feel like that is a wrong move. Personally, it's not a Democrat or Republican thing. I just don't think it's the right move. Make your case. I understand this is terrible. Something should be done, but I don't think that is necessarily the answer. But I don't know anything about what you're saying.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: Do you think it's ironic that those who say, "Oh, yeah, bring them here. Bring them all here." And then when they show up in your front door, they go, "Well, bring them somewhere else. We don't have room for them here. We don't want them here.
Well,
take them someplace else."
Well, I would say that if you bring them, why don't you bring them there and work it out where they're expecting it and it's coming and it's done properly procedurally. That I would say. But this is more of a publicity stunt than anything else. That's all I'm saying.
Because nothing's being done, though.
I understand. If you're okay with that, that's okay. I'm
not
saying,
okay with it. I do think it's a stunt. I agree with you that it is a stunt, but it is a stunt after years and years and years of no action.
I understand, but it's a stunt that you're using people to create the stunt, and I just don't feel comfortable with that. That's all I'm saying. But I guess I'm a snowflake.
That's not what I said.
No, I didn't say you said it, but there's someone saying it right now. Okay? All right, I want to talk about Davey right now and get off this topic. Davey. Sanchez, what do you think?
You mean Gary Sanchez signing with the Mets?
Sanchez is signed with the Mets, and he's playing in Syracuse. Let me tell you something. The Mets could use something. I don't know what's going on, but this team is in a deep depression. I think they need I don't know. Do they need Biden's caffeine? I don't know. This is terrible.
They don't need Gary Sanchez. They got Alvarez to Francisco.
I understand
Alvarez,
that. I don't know what
Gary Sanchez.
I don't know what they're
their
thinking.
Powerful catching situation.
Look, well, you can be the greatest hitter in the world if you're not hitting the ball. They did score 6 runs yesterday, but their pitching is their relief is giving up runs left and right. This is just out of control.
It's a bad spot for the Mets if someone can say honestly, and I think you're being honest, and maybe you're right, but boy, the Mets would really benefit from Gary Sanchez. The guy can't catch the ball. He strikes out 8 out of 10 times at the plate. Somehow we would be better off with him. I was baffled by that move.
I have a feeling he's going to be spending time in Syracuse. Maybe he's really brilliant at teaching young kids or those who aren't all that young. Joe Load on the line right now. Joseph, good morning. Good morning. Joe, I've got some people I'm supposed to get on for you, and I haven't done that yet, so I'll get on it today.
That's okay.
I'll get on it today, and me and Manaski will put heads together. Do I need to take
No
a break?
worries. That's not why I'm calling there, Snowflake.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't you think right now, besides the Mets, the Yankees aren't playing good either?
This is terrible. This is a New York thing. And the Knicks could lose tonight as well. I don't know.
I'm sick and tired of like, I don't know. I got a bruise to my shin, or I got a bruise to my thigh, and I can't play. You're worth millions. Shut up and play. Has the Major League Baseball franchise gone lame or what? I mean, come on. What's going on with these kids? When I was a kid, all right, now let me just say this. When I wasn't a kid, how about the days of Ty Cobb in the days of Babe Ruth, these people played through anything, and then would they get a pack of cigarettes or something? These guys get millions, and they don't even play.
Case of beer. They got a case of beer. They got to drink as much as they wanted.
I'm disgusted by the lame efforts that these kids are putting in. And why is it that every time you get to first base, you got to joke and laugh with the first baseman? Screw that. He's the enemy. He's on the other team.
I say the same thing when I'm in court and my attorney's talking to the opposing attorney. It's like, get over here. You're with me. What are you doing over there? Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I mean, this is terrible.
It's
Davey,
so frustrating to see. You know, it sucks.
Meanwhile, think about this. The thing that's so frustrating is the Mets and Yankees have spent so much money. And this is where we're at. I mean, I guess I'd rather have this. I mean, I know Larry is texting me last night telling me it's all over. Stop being optimistic. It's all over. The Mets are going to. It's going to get worse, and it may get worse before it gets better. But I would say this though. I would rather have the debacle to happen now and the surge to happen in August, September, and October.
Yeah, if it happens. And then usually when it happens for us, we get through one game and then can't make the big show anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's terrible.
I know. So what am I, Davey, get to him and ask you on the, he doesn't have a phone. Right. Okay, forget that. Joe, if you could, there are a couple of things that I think there were fundraisers or events that you wanted me to plug. What am I plugging?
Well, actually, let's see, because I sent you the message, but there is a walk or a run in Barneville.
All right, I'll get it. There are two things I have to get to, and I will get to those for you.
Yeah,
listen.
The one is Miles for Meg. It's a run in honor. It's the May 20th. It's they do a race, a basket raffle, a cornhole tournament. And it's for Meg, Miles for Meg, and it's the suicide prevention. And there's a lot that goes with it, but she's a local girl who apparently took her own life, and they do a run now every year to bring awareness to suicide, and especially in young people.
Yeah,
you know,
terrible. Joe, I want to ask you, and we'll get the other one too. I'll get those taken care of for you.
Yeah.
Okay. A little trivia question here for you. What company owns the largest dairy farm in all, or is about to own the largest dairy farm in all of New York State?
I would say it's got to be Chobani.
That's really a good guess, but I don't believe it is Chobani. And I didn't realize this, but it's Coca-Cola.
What?
Coca-Cola is in the plans to build a $650 million 100-acre milk production plant outside Rochester that would draw from local dairy farms and create an estimated 250 jobs. And I didn't know, but Coca-Cola makes Fairlife milk, or they produce Fairlife milk. Have you ever seen that? It's in a different looking carton.
Yeah, that's what my household drinks Fairlife milk. Yeah,
because they do the lactose free and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Lactose is not a good thing in my household.
Well,
not for me, but for other people, you know.
But Joe, though, I mean, who would have thought Coca-Cola has invested in that industry, in the milk industry?
It's amazing.
Never knew it.
And it's actually a healthy product compared to whatever else they produce.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Joe?
Rochester. It's even better. I mean,
right nearby.
Great for New York City, but all that money just gets funneled down to the city anyway.
Just think about that: a dairy farm with 250 employees. That's a big deal.
That's awesome.
Okay. All right, Joseph. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy this beautiful weather today.
Well, Bill, the reason I'm up is because I started a new 6-week challenge again.
Okay. What is that?
Well, the Naimi Automotive Group signed us up for 6 weeks to take back our life. So, remember when Andrew Derminio was going to OB training?
Yes.
Okay, so now I am part of the same group that Andrew Derminio is.
Okay. So
so today was day 2 of my Take Back My Life challenge, where I'm starting to eat well again and do exercise and hopefully lose some of this COVID weight. I call it COVID weight because it's the real reason everything happened nowadays is just COVID. So you might as well just blame it on it.
It's really it's post keto weight. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
On the low carb diet, the minute you start eating a piece of bread and some pasta, you're putting on weight like crazy. Which is a problem.
White Claws only have 100 calories, but when you drink 24 at a time, that's 2,400 calories. You don't even realize it.
It's the problem. It'll get you every time. And, Joe, how about an update, if you don't mind? I know you didn't call for this, but an update on your health situation, because you had a very big scare when it came to health and cancer.
Yeah, I mean, I really did get lucky. I mean, especially when, I have friends my age that are not so lucky. So I got lucky, and they saved the kidney. I did my first MRI, and it came back. It showed some hemorrhaging on the kidney, but they think that was from during the surgery, so they got to keep an eye on it. I do have to go to Roswell next Wednesday to get chest x-rays and a CAT scan. I guess it's just precautionary because kidney cancer has a tendency to metastasize to the lungs. So that's where I'm going. But that'll be it. I mean, once Wednesday comes, I'll let you know.
Okay.
And hopefully the scans are clear. And yeah, I dodged a bullet in a sense because, I was born with one kidney, and I ended up with stage 3 tumor in the kidney. The only one I had, and the doctor in Roswell in Buffalo, I mean, I owe him my life or whatever, because it was either I was going to wake up with a kidney or wake up and have to go to dialysis 3 days a week.
Yeah,
and I don't know how my life would have been with that. It would have been
certainly changed
a lot different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Joe. And you didn't find out till late in life that you had only one kidney.
Yeah, when I was 40, I found out. And it's more common than you know. So if you're listening, you might have one kidney. Also, I want to tell people, and I know you're an advocate of this, please, 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 and I'm bad at this. I have to go get mine. I already set an appointment. Get a colonoscopy because cancer is the colon cancer is easily preventable if found quick. And I have a good friend who's not doing well because of it. And please, just don't take it for granted.
Colon cancer is what he has.
Yeah.
It's
it's gone from the colon now to a lot of different places. So.
Well, sadly, we and I did as well. I mean, you guys are tough when it comes to this, and you there are symptoms, and you're avoiding the symptoms, and before you know it. It ends up getting worse and worse, and that's the scary part of this whole thing.
He started getting pains and cramps and put it off, and then finally they found a very large tumor in his colon. They were, with surgery, able to remove it and save his colon. However, when they opened him up, they found that it would just spread everywhere.
Yeah. All right, Joe. Well, good luck with your next 2 weeks here.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. You guys have a great day.
And Ann says, praying for Joe to get good news. All right, there you go, Joe Load.
That's awesome. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Okay, a couple other quickies, Davey, and I know I have to break today's National Shrimp Day. National Shrimp Day. We have great weather on the way today. We'll go up to 70 degrees or a little bit warmer than that with full sunshine tomorrow, 75, upper 70s on Friday. And Saturday looks good, and even Sunday, although a little cooler, looks to be really, really good. One comment, a couple of comments here this morning. Richard says on what he calls complete crap. That would be complete streets, I believe. From what I'm understanding now, they repainted the streets wrong. They voted down the bike lane, but I think they still painted it in. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. Ask Samantha. We'll find out on that one today. I cannot believe that they could have done that incorrectly. But that's what he says happened. Mike here this morning. We've had over 100 countries represented coming across the southern border, including from Asia and Africa. At this point, I guess we don't even need passport control for people flying into the country because the easiest way to get in is through the southern border. And perhaps that's why Biden likes wearing those sunglasses. He likes catching a quick nap when he's standing there and you don't even know it. It's a Weekend at Bernie's situation there, Davey. I kind of feel like. All right, I got a break. We'll talk about Hennessy. We'll get into that being knocked off the ballot, and hopefully we'll speak with him coming up. WIBX News is straight ahead.
What is a heat pump? I'm Jen from Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. We get this question all the time. Heat pumps are the most energy-efficient heating equipment available. With the price of oil and propane going up, switching your heating system will save you money. Not to mention all the rebates and tax incentives that are available. Our experienced team at Standard will evaluate your home and design a system that's right for you. Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. Call us today at 315-859-6292. We promise to save you money.
For your financial advice to be useful, it needs to be tailored to how you live your life. I'm Jim McGuire, branch manager of Baird's Utica office. At Baird, we provide investment and financial planning for all areas of your life: retirement, family, and estate plans, and charitable giving. Plus, we coordinate our advice with your tax and legal advisors, so you can be confident all your plans are working together for you. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdUtica.com.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
It's a scam, a continuation of the witch hunt. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's former President Trump's reaction on Truth Social to a jury verdict at a New York City civil trial, finding him liable for sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll and defaming the author in his denials.
We'll be appealing this decision. It's a disgrace. I don't even know who this woman is.
The jury did not find the former president liable for rape, which Carroll alleged in her lawsuit after writing in a book he attacked her in a store dressing room in 1996. In court today in New York City, Republican Congressman George Santos expected to face federal charges.
The nature of the counts in the Eastern District of New York are unclear. Santos has been accused by many of his fellow Republicans and some who voted for him last year of embellishing his background in order to get elected, which he has admitted doing.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy went to the White House with other congressional leaders to discuss raising the debt limit weeks before a possible U.S. default.
I didn't find progress in this meeting.
President Biden has rejected the House Republican plan to attach spending cuts to increasing our borrowing authority.
We agreed to continue our discussions, and we're going to meet again on Friday.
The president also had a big meeting by phone.
I spent close to an hour with the Mexican president today.
And he admits it's going to be chaotic for a while at the border as the Title 42 COVID policy expires tomorrow. There are large numbers of migrants just south of the border waiting to cross illegally. Republicans blame the Biden administration.
Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez says the president of Guatemala told him he knows of at least 80,000 prominent Venezuelan nationals who are making their way to the U.S. border ahead of the drop of Title 42, and that nobody at the White House would take his calls.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. In Allen, Texas, police say the gunman who killed 8 people at a shopping mall Saturday bought his guns legally. Police shot and killed Mauricio Garcia. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
The internet can be an all-you-can-eat buffet for identity thieves.
Ugh, so full.
Too many maiden names.
And social security numbers.
Where'd you find those?
By the password bar. Can't miss them.
LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss by monitoring your credit and bank statements. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
Next hour, we'll get an update on inflation. Expected to show consumer prices rose last month from March, but the year-over-year number, closely watched as the Federal Reserve hikes interest rates to fight inflation, is predicted to show a slight price decline. Ahead of the report on Wall Street, stock futures are down modestly, like yesterday when the Dow dropped 56 points and the Nasdaq lost 77. Also this morning, House Republicans will produce bank records in their Biden family investigation.
We're going to also talk
about the different people that they were taking money from, their ties to foreign nationals in some of the worst countries.
Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer will detail that at a news conference, but Fox's Brooke Singman reports.
A White House spokesperson exclusively telling me, quote, Comer is loudly and proudly broadcasting a press conference today to continue his long pattern of making absurd claims that President Biden has made governing decisions not in the interest of America, but in the interest of the Chinese Communist Party, using baseless claims, personal attacks, and innuendo to try to score political points. But Comer says he has the receipts, and he's very interested to see how the White House responds once he presents them.
Speaking of the White House,
the University of Georgia Athletic Association Tuesday confirming the Bulldogs football team will not attend a June 12th event with other college teams at the White House. The event, described as College Athlete Day, sought to honor Georgia for their 65-7 championship romp of TCU for their second straight national title, as well as other champion college athletic programs.
That's Fox's Matt Napolitano. Now, Georgia is citing a scheduling conflict for not going. In the NBA playoffs, Philadelphia beat Boston 115-103. Denver topped Phoenix 118-102. The Sixers and Nuggets are both up 3-2, now a win away from going to their conference finals. In hockey, Carolina routed New Jersey to go up 3-1. Dallas beat Seattle to even that series 2-2. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Hi, I'm John Martosh, and I'm running for the Utica School Board because I'm concerned about our children's education. The Utica School District ranks one of the lowest in New York State exams for math and English. Despite this poor performance, the current school board president, Mr. Habaika, wants to be reelected to continue to do more of the same. We had great teachers, but many say retaliation is the administration's response to teachers who pointed out needed changes. I will support parents, teachers, and administrators who want their voices heard when it comes to what their children are being taught. As I go door to door, parents tell me they want increased safety for students, transparency concerning the Utica School Board's $243 million budget, and concerns over the implementation of CRT. I, John Martosha, respectfully ask for your vote this Tuesday so I can help bring the changes, the accountability, and progress in improving graduation rates in our schools. It's a very important election, and I would greatly appreciate your vote.
We have some morning sunshine, 43 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:06. This news update is brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Utica and Powersports of Utica. Stop in today to check out their large selection at 4870 Commercial Drive. Well, the future of Vernon Downs may be in jeopardy without action by Governor Kathy Hochul and the state legislature. A press statement from Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw last evening read that she had been notified by constituents of the possible closing of Vernon Downs in stages if the legislative and executive branches could not find a solution to supporting another tax credit extender. She says she's worked endlessly with colleagues in the legislative branch in the past and will continue to do so to assist Vernon Downs to remain open. She says that the number one priority remains employees and their families. The Vernon Downs Racino is owned by Jeff Gurrell, who also owns and operates Tioga Downs. In the past, Gurrell has cited massive losses at the Downs, totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars, and has been able to get state lawmakers to agree to special tax credit plans that have kept the track open for the last several years. Such previous agreements with the state have allowed Gurrell to take a portion of taxes owed to the state from video lottery terminals and redirect that money to renovation and enhancement of the property. Vernon Downs opened for its 70th season on April 15th. A Utica woman has been arrested on DWI and other charges after causing damage at a cemetery in New Hartford. Police say 30-year-old Nicole Washington was under the influence on Seneca Turnpike yesterday when her vehicle went through a fence and into the Green Lawn Cemetery. The vehicle knocked over several headstones, which will now need to be fixed. No word yet on the total cost of how much it will be to repair those grave sites. An acting police chief has now been appointed in Ithaca as the nationwide search for a permanent replacement continues. Mayor Laura Lewis has chosen Lieutenant Ted Schwartz to fill the position until a new chief is named. Schwartz has been with the department since 2011 and says he's looking forward to leading in this time of need. There hasn't been a permanent chief in Ithaca in nearly 2 years. The Governor's Traffic Safety Committee revealing the results of their recent No Empty Chair education and enforcement campaign from April 24th through the 28th. Police increased patrols near schools in an effort to keep students safe. During this year's crackdown, nearly 38,000 tickets were handed out for violations like distracted driving, speeding, and impaired driving. The goal of the campaign is to raise awareness of the dangers of driving and the dangers that driving can pose so there aren't any empty chairs during prom and graduation season. And a popular rapper and movie star joining the growing list of artists who'll be performing at the State Fair this year. Ludacris will be taking the stage at Suburban Park on Thursday, August 31st at 8 p.m. There's no cost to see his concert since it's included as part of the admission at the State Fair. Looking forward to another day of sunshine today and warm weather. Full details on your forecast from Eyewitness News.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint at the WIBX Weather Center today. Plenty of bright sunshine, warmer, breezy at times in the afternoon, a high near 70. Tonight, mainly clear sky, low of 45. And tomorrow, mostly sunny sky, warmer, mainly dry, only the small risk of a brief pop-up afternoon shower, especially north, a high near 75. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
We have some sunshine at 43 degrees at 7:10.
And now for sports. The Devils are on the brink of elimination.
I think we should give you a decent introduction, though, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here is intern Devin. I don't know your last name. With
What's
sports.
your last name? We need your last name.
Furpo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Devin Furpo with sports.
The Devils are on the brink of elimination. New Jersey was blown out by the Carolina Hurricanes 6-1 in Game 4 of its best-of-7 second-round series. Jack Hughes opened the scoring just under 2 minutes into the first period with his 6th goal of the postseason. Vanek stopped 12 of 17 shots he faced, and Akira Schmid managed to save 11 of the 12 shots he saw. The Devils now trail the Hurricanes in the series 3-1 and will look to extend their season when they visit Raleigh for Game 5 tomorrow night. The Rangers continue to shake up their coaching staff. According to the Post, assistant coach Mike Kelly and Jim Midgley have been relieved of their duties. Gord Murphy and director of goaltending Benoit Allaire are expected to remain with the team. The changes to the staff comes just 3 days after the organization and head coach Gerard Gallant mutually agree to part ways. The Knicks are hoping to stay alive when they host the Heat in Game 5 tonight in Madison Square Garden. New York is trailing its best-of-7 second-round series 3-1. The Knicks could once again be without key member of their backcourt. Guard Emmanuel Quickley is once again listed on the injury report as doubtful with a sprained left ankle. If New York pulls out a victory, the series will shift back to Miami for Game 6 Friday night. Former Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III is expected to plead guilty tomorrow to a deadly car crash in 2021. Court records show that Ruggs reached a plea agreement with the prosecutors and will serve between 3 and 10 years in prison if it's accepted by the judge. Police say Ruggs was speeding over 150 miles per hour on a residential road when he crashed into another car, killing the driver and their dog. Ruggs' blood alcohol level was twice Nevada's legal limit, according to the police. The college football playoff national champion Georgia Bulldogs have declined an invitation to the White House. In a statement, the school said it received the invite earlier this month to make the visit on June 12th. The date is not feasible given the student-athlete calendar at that time of year. According to the athletic department, Georgia defeated Texas Christian back in January to capture its second straight national title and finished the season 15-0. The team didn't make the White House trip last year due to COVID-19 restrictions.
All right, nice job there, Devin. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. A couple stories you didn't have in there, Manaski. This is a throwback for me. In the UK, a nightclub there has issued an apology after a contest they held was presumed to have fallen into the category of false advertising.
Okay.
So here's the deal. 18-year-old Noah Edwards entered the contest thinking the prize was a car, and he won. The joke was on him, though, when they handed him a toy car.
Yeah, this is the toy Yoda. This right?
We did this contest many years ago, and it was right when Star Wars was coming out with their new trilogy and all that. So we're like, we're giving away. So enter to win. We're giving away a 1993 model Toyota. So it was a toy Yoda, and we got away with it.
That is a brilliant wordplay, by the way.
However, the problem is there was a case maybe within the last 10 years where somebody tried to do something similar to that, and the courts ruled, nope, it's false advertising. You've got to give them a brand new car. And I kind of wonder what's going to happen here. The father of this kid is saying they've reached out to the management of the club. They've apologized. He said, we might sue. We want a car. You implied in the commercial that it was a real car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the issue? Was it a wordplay like that, or they just said you're getting a new
I don't know
car
how
and they gave him a
did it, but
toy
they said
car?
you're getting a new car, but said we never once said it was a full size automobile. We kind of toyed with it as well. That's how we kind of got away with it. We also once gave away $1 million. You had a chance to win $1 million. Is how I think we worded it. But they won 1 million pesos, and it was before NAFTA, so that was about $113. That was a fun contest.
Hey,
and we gave it away on Cinco de Mayo. You should have known. That's how we did it. But back then, you could get away with anything. I mean, we did a crank call where we walked into a store, and I called up and said, there's a shoplifter in your store. And she said, I can see him right now. His name is Lightfingers. And he was walking around the store. If that happened today, the clerk would have pulled out a gun and shot him away. Blown him right away.
Well, actually, if that happened today, the clerk would have said, there's a clearance on aisle 7. Let us know when you're gone.
Yeah, right.
They would have let him just walk right out.
Yeah, because you don't go after somebody like that. Okay, I got a break. Coming up, we'll speak with Frank Policelli. He has been able to get in an appeal, a conviction overturned in a controversial murder case. And we'll get into that coming up in a few minutes with the attorney, Frank Policelli. Coming right up at 7:15 on Wednesday morning at WIBX.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Alfred State University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Alfred State is proud to strengthen our long history of working with unions to create non-traditional pathways for career advances in the skilled trades.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Hi, this is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance with exciting news. We are expanding with a couple of new offices in our area. One new location is North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville. They are another independent insurance agency that takes pride in making customers happy and fits our culture at Gates Cole perfectly. Here is William Schaub from the newest Gates Cole agency, North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville.
Working with us as an independent agent with this many companies, we will often call our clients and say, we're going to reduce your premium if you like. We have the companies that do well in New York and specifically this area. The coverages that we provide are commercial and personal insurance. That's the home, the auto, ATV, motorcycle. There's nothing more fun than taking care of a customer and being able to tell them that we're able to save them some money.
Proudly representing Finger Lakes Fire and Casualty Company of Trumansburg, New York. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Hey, I want to tell you about It's a Utica Thing Kitchen and Bar. Love the food, love the atmosphere. Talked to somebody just last night who called me up and said, we went last night, and it was really, really good. Charlie DeGustina and the entire team over there have opened up It's a Utica Thing, an amazing brand. You can buy their products in store, the tomato pies, and the sauces are so good. When you use their sauces, like their marinade, as they call it, you feel like put it in a pot, throw the jar away. Get the jar far away so nobody can see it. They're going to think you made that sauce. It is so good. But at It's a Utica Thing Kitchen and Bar, you don't have to make anything. They do it all for you. With a full bar. It's inside the Big Lots Plaza. It's been completely done over. It's beautiful inside. And they're taking reservations right now for Mother's Day. Mother's Day this Sunday, 1 till 8. Come on in to It's a Utica Thing Kitchen and Bar, located in the Big Lots Plaza, 350 Leland Avenue in Utica. For reservations, call 315-738-8946. We'll also tell you that they're open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for lunch from 11:30 till 10. Check it out. Great food. It's a Utica Thing, kitchen and bar in North Utica.
Are you considering buying an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid? Wouldn't it be nice to just fuel up at home with an EV charging station? Potentia is helping to make the convenience of charging easier for your home and your business. As a leader in green electrical projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and are now getting into the residential market. No more stops at the gas station. Charge at home conveniently and economically. With New York State's zero emissions mandate by 2035, Potentia can help design, supply, even install residential and commercial EV charging systems at your home or your business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey EV charging solution with various packages and options available. They guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and their workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or view their website at potentiamanagement.com.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
If you're experiencing pain, sometimes there can be nothing worse in the world than dealing with pain. Excruciating pain that won't go away. There is help. You do not have to live with the pain. And I'm talking about Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgical Center in Utica. You know, my father's been dealing with this, and I just have to say, between going to our family doctor and going to Dr. Hyder at the Omni Surgical Center, I feel like he's really, really in good hands. Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgical Center, we were there just yesterday, and he is extremely brilliant. I'm just going to say brilliant, caring, and can I say brilliant again? Really just, you don't have to live with the pain. They're working on your puzzle. Every body is a puzzle. Every person, it's like a puzzle. And they work incredibly hard and thoroughly to try to get to the problem. And it might mean a non-invasive injection, but that might be something that gets you, might be allow you to recover. It also might be something that gets you by, and you might need a less invasive surgery, which they do at the Omni Surgery Center with Dr. Hyder. People travel from all over the country and really all over North America to have procedures done right here. You know that Dr. Hyder also has he treats people at Georgetown University Hospital as well. So this is someone who's renowned throughout the country in this field of eliminating pain. And when you're dealing with it, no one can understand. Only you understand how bad that can be. The Omni Surgery Center could be the answer. Their website, killpain.com. Killpain.com. Call them today. They're located in the business park, and the surgery center is on French Road. 315-765-8448. Killpain.com, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, on the line right now is Frank Policelli, attorney extraordinaire. Good morning, Frank. Good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Hi, how you doing?
Listen, I always try to, and you know I do this, I always try to find good cases for you, because you get a lot of high-profile cases, big cases, and we're going to talk about one of them coming up. But I I got a case for you. Are you ready?
What's that?
Are you willing to work in Utah? I know you will. A Utah woman.
It's one of the few states I've never been in.
Well, this could be it, Frank. This woman wrote a children's book about coping with grief after the sad death of her husband. And she wrote this book for young children to be able to deal with death. Frank, she's now been arrested for the murder of her husband.
Get out of here.
Yeah. You could get her off. I know you could.
Oh, geez. Well, it's always something exciting happening. You never once you think you've seen it all, something happens and just surprises you.
You're right. That's I swear, getting out of bed, I'm like, oh great, here we go again, and then you get surprised, and
Yeah,
and here we are.
Been that way for 47 years for me.
It's incredible, right? You probably take the cake, to be honest with you. All right. So this was if you could just review this murder case. This was big in the news during COVID. I think this really happened.
I wonder
right?
if that played a role because it involved, I believe, some downstate folks who had come upstate.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it was an opportunity to get away.
No. They had all. There was a
Rochester, I think.
It was a Labor Day party that they all had homes up in on First Lake at Old Forge. It was a party. They were all friends. There was an argument. My client left the party. He went home. Two of the people went back to his place. The decedent, who had been a retired fireman from New York City, he goes there with another fellow. The decedent's blood alcohol level was 0.22. There's a fight, and my client acted in self-defense. It was that simple, and that was our defense. There was no question that there was my client, who, legally was able to possess his weapon, was in imminent fear of death or serious physical injury at his own home, and he shot the decedent, and his argument was self-defense, but the jury was never allowed to consider that defense.
So that's the technicality. And by the way, your client on appeal has been awarded it's been overturned, and that means he'll get a new trial. Am I correct?
Yeah, the appellate division, 5 judges in Rochester unanimously reversed the conviction and said that the judge should have charged the jury the defense of justification, which is self-defense. And by not doing that, he didn't get a fair trial.
Yeah.
And it was unfair. And the thing that, gets me is that I got so much feedback ever since this decision came down from lawyers, especially down in New York City, that read this. And, not just defense lawyers. I'll tell you that. There was also lawyers that I know that are prosecutors that, basically were shocked that this judge did not charge the jury on the defense of justification, which gutted the whole defense.
Yeah.
That was I got cut up, my legs got cut from underneath me because we weren't able to have the jury decide the case fairly.
Frank, were you allowed, in arguing the case, at the trial, were you allowed to bring up the elements of what transpired before the shooting, but then later the judge said the jury could not consider that? Explain how that worked.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I mean, my client testified for a day on the stand. We had evidence. I mean, this is the thing that gets me. It wasn't, like there was one case in Oneida County where the person shot the guy in the back of the head, but the judge still gave the justification charge. We got good judges in Oneida County, okay? I like Judge Bauer, I like Judge Dwyer, but, they gave the charge anyway. In this case, we had evidence of the physical injuries that my client received. We even had evidence when he was on the ground that the sole of the shoe that the decedent was wearing left an imprint on his pants that the appellate division picked up on in their decision when he was being stomped on the ground in his own driveway after he was dragged out of his garage and being pummeled by the decedent. I mean, if that's not self-defense, I don't know what is.
Can I ask you, you had said we have good judges in Oneida County. In contrast to what? Are you, and this was Judge Crandall in Herkimer County?
Yes.
Do you think he's not a good judge?
He wasn't a good judge in that trial.
Okay.
Interesting. So what happens from here? Is your client, is he now free pending the outcome of the next trial?
Well,
what happens?
No, he has to be brought back to Herkimer County, and then there's a new trial that's going to be scheduled, and I will be bringing motions as soon as he's brought back. He's been in jail for 3 years. He believed in the system. He thought he could get a fair trial. He got denied a fair trial. and he's willing to have a fair trial.
Yeah.
That's what the rule of law is supposed to be about. That's what was so frustrating by most of the lawyers who read this that were outraged by it.
So I think that and we'll wrap it up with this. We're talking to Frank Policelli, defense attorney, who is, and this happened, if you remember, in Oneida County. Was it the case of?
No, it happened in Herkimer County.
No, I know that, but if you remember in Oneida County, it was it Judge Dwyer that gave the other option, the other charge to the jury, and that was in the what's her name trial,
Conley.
Conley, yes, and. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the jury was given that option. The jury was not given that option in this trial. I'm just trying to understand this. Is that
you mean the option of manslaughter?
The option of not of manslaughter, but of considering that it was self-defense.
No. That was never given in Conley trial. There was no.
No. I'm not saying the Conley trial.
The only way you could argue self-defense is if you admit that you committed the act.
I'm not saying I'm making a comparison of the two. I'm not saying in the Conley trial. But there where the judge gave the options to the jury in Oneida County, the options to the jury in Herkimer County were not given that would include self-defense. Am I understanding that correctly?
In Herkimer County, the options of self-defense as a defense was not charged.
That's my point. That's my point.
The jury couldn't consider self-defense, but that was never an issue in Conley.
No, I'm not saying that it was. I'm just simply making a comparison that at the end, when a jury is sent off to deliberate, they're given, basically, in layman's terms, they're given their options. And
they're given. Yes, sure.
So I was just making the comparison between the two. Not that they are similar in that way. It's just that in that case, the judge gave the jury the options, and that's where the jury went. Here, those options were not given in Herkimer County. That's all I'm saying. So
that's correct.
All right, Frank, for you to say that to me, that means a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hear about this for at least 2.5 months.
I'm going to walk out of here today like he said I was correct. Yeah.
Well, so long as we don't get any jurors like the guy Henry that called yesterday, we'll be okay.
All right, Frank. Thank you. Let's keep on top of this. I'm very interested to see where this whole thing goes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Frank Policelli. Earlier this morning, I'm getting some conflicting reports back and forth. Richard this morning said, I believe they painted the he calls them the stupid streets or whatever. I forgot what he calls them.
Complete debacle.
He said, I hear they painted them, the lines yesterday in Utica. Man, this controversy just continues. But he said, you're not going to believe it. They screwed up, and I think they painted the bike lanes.
That can't be true.
Told that that's not true. Samantha Colosimo-Testa is on the Common Council.
Say it isn't so, Sam.
And she's on the line now. Good morning.
I have no idea. I mean, other than what I seen last night, there were still 5 lanes of traffic.
Okay, so you don't know if it has happened.
I was sent a photo.
No, it was permanent. I mean, the pictures don't lie. I'm just saying maybe they can go erase them this morning. I have no idea. But, I mean, there's some they painted the permanent lines to 5 lanes of traffic.
5 lanes would be including a bike lane.
2 bike lanes. Bike lane.
Are you saying that's real?
Bike lane, travel lane, center lane, travel lane, bike lane. It's like a bike lane sandwich. You know.
All right. Can we send Devin over?
We can do
to count the lanes.
We can. I've got photos here. You can just count them off my laptop.
It could be an AI photo. I mean, this could
No,
be.
it was a picture that I took last night.
Oh, you took the picture. Okay, so you've seen it.
It's my photo. I drove down Genesee Street and witnessed 5 lanes of traffic.
You just told me you weren't sure that it was the case, but it is the case.
I said they could have erased them this morning.
Okay. All right, you've confused me here.
I thought they could only be grounded off. What are they using? A number 2 pencil eraser to take it off?
That's what they use for the temporary lines.
So the what was passed on the Common Council last week, or early last week, was that they're going with complete streets, but they're eliminating the bike lanes.
Mm-hmm.
What was painted yesterday on the streets in Utica included what exactly? So it would be 2 lanes of traffic,
a center lane,
and 2 bike lanes.
I guess they can call it a buffer lane.
Wow.
I mean, listen, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. I mean, it's almost like term limits, like, oh, yeah, here, sign a petition, but yet we're going to ram it through and not put it on the ballot. I mean, you name it, it's happened in Utica. And when we get off the phone the other day and you said, why not just do it? And I'm thinking to myself, like, they've done everything that they wanted.
right.
So what's the difference?
Well,
like,
we argued
why
it.
are we even voting on it?
Right.
Why are we voting on it? Why would it? And this is I guess my question. If the mayor is the public safety commissioner, which he never comes on your radio show, let alone even listen to it, so I don't even know how he's going to be able to hear what I have to say.
Sam, he listens. Sam, stop.
I know,
He listens.
I know.
He never listens, but every time something gets said he doesn't like, he apparently hears it. I don't know how that happens.
That's my point. But with that said, if he's the public safety commissioner, is he the one that added the bike lanes? I mean, it's so convoluted. The whole entire process from start to finish has been such a complete joke that I like sit at the council meetings and I just scratch my head because it's just, I'm like, am I in the twilight zone? I mean, listen, we've had a history of councils that have been, entertaining to say the least, but at least like we kind of did the right thing legislatively and didn't have to worry about the process.
Right.
I mean, you've got people happy that, the lines on the street are getting painted, but it's not what they passed for legislatively. Like, wouldn't you be upset?
I have
mean,
somebody.
They're not upset because they wanted the bike lanes, and that was the whole intent of it. But
I have somebody that says they were on the street last night at 5:00, and they were not painted yet. So it must have been done basically after hours just before nighttime.
I had baseball. I had baseball practice till 6:30.
Wow.
7:00. So it was done about 7:00 last night.
Unbelievable. Wow. All right, interesting stuff. We'll try to dig in and find out what happened.
Listen, you never know. There might be a fifth term coming.
Okay, that's possible. Like a fifth lane. Maybe it's symbolic after all.
5 lanes, 5 terms. You never know.
Okay, all right. Samantha,
Guys, take
thank
care.
you.
Right.
Samantha Colosimo Testa.
Thank you, Sam.
Wow. This is someone who says they drove across the street yesterday at 5 p.m. and the lines were not painted yet. So it was done after hours. Interesting stuff. All right, we're going to do our free money question of the day in a second here, Davey. And then we'll speak with Utica mayoral candidate Mike Galimi. His opponent is Bob Cardillo, who's currently snubbing us. Bob, what is going on here? Come on. This is ridiculous. How about a little kumbaya and coming on the radio here? I understand I understand the issue of Bruce Karam. I understand that. But all I want to know is if you were the person who went into the meeting, or actually went into the office of the superintendent and said, "Hey, everybody, let me just tell you, Karam's coming back. He's coming back." And what I'm saying, though, is that I don't think it was you. And I don't think it was you. But what I want you to do is to come on the air and tell people that I know I've just told them that I don't think it was you, but I want you to say that it wasn't you. All right? Okay. Now, that's my imaginary conversation with Bob. I want that exact conversation on the air because I think he's going to say it. I think he's going to say, I didn't do it.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me, Shaggy.
Just like the song. So, Bob, the invite is out. The invite is out. I know Bob so well because we worked hours and hours together on a campaign when he first ran for mayor. Well, second time he ran for mayor. So, Bob, the door is open here to call in or come in. I'd like to see you sitting in that seat. Devin, we're going to move you. You're going to be over there. Bob will sit there tomorrow morning.
Also, when we come back, I've got a comment from Big Honey. And
bring it on there.
I think it's a great one.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Can I talk about this for a moment? I mentioned Dr. Hyder, and I said that between Dr. Hyder, Dr. Sarabu, and the Falcon Clinic, Dr. Shemaleski, and Dr. Zielinski, all of these people putting their heads together and working on my dad's case. I'm going to tell you something. I feel like the greatest health care in the world is right here if you seek out and find it. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. I just have to say about Dr. Shemaleski, the most thorough, because you're dealing with everybody as a puzzle, right? Every problem is a puzzle, and you're trying to figure it out. And this doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense. You know that when you have a doctor who's digging in and really working to try to figure out a person's problem, what is wrong with that person, that you're in good hands. And that is the Falcon Clinic. They're accepting new patients today. We brought my dad to Dr. Shemaleski and Dr. Zielinski, and it was the right move. And if you're in that situation where there's something that is ailing you, it could be something as simple as sleep issues or fatigue and pain, ADHD, whatever your situation is, and you're looking for answers, trying to figure something out, the Falcon Clinic, it's a holistic approach as well as a medicinal approach, the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and I swear by it. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Call today. They're accepting new patients. 315-507-4751. Coming up, we'll speak with Utica mayoral candidate Mike Galimi. And, Davey, before that, let's do our free money question of the day. And this morning, Davey, we're looking for caller number
8.
8th caller through the phone lines right now. 315-736-0186. Caller number 8. We'll do Hobica's contest and give you a chance at cash next. Caller number 8 at 315-736-0186. Then Galimi, but before that, the comment of the day from Big Honey.
Wow.
Coming up.
Okay.
7:39 at WIBX.
Warner Sales and Service. Building relationships, building trust.
This is Lynn from Warner Sales and Service. Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf Zero-Turn Mowers. Hustler mowers are designed to be maintenance and service-friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. From the heavy-duty frame to the welded steel deck to their trademark smooth track steering, Hustler Turf Zero-Turn Mowers deliver professional-grade cut quality for a perfectly manicured lawn. It's your chance to be the envy of your neighborhood. Come see us at Warner Sales and Service on the Greenway New London Road in Rome, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona. And we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at warnerss.com.
Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
Hello, I'm Joe Hobica, and I'm asking for your vote for Utica School Board. As school board president, I've led the fight for a better Utica school district. During my term on the board, I've worked very hard on improving transparency, process, and procedure, which are important to students, parents, teachers, and taxpayers. Now, due to my efforts along with the board majority, checks and balances have now been restored to prevent wrongdoing. We've already put an end to no-show jobs. We now track every penny spent by the district. Overtime is monitored and abuse of the system is prohibited. And oh, by the way, we balanced the budget, filled needed positions, and did not raise taxes. And now I'm asking for your vote so I can finish the job. This vote is extremely important and your vote does count. On Tuesday, May 16th, please cast your vote for me, Joe Hobica, and help us continue the fight for Utica's schools. Voting is from noon until 9 p.m.
It's hard to know what to do when you lose a loved one. You want to provide a lasting tribute, but you need someone you can trust to help you navigate all the options. Mohawk Valley Monuments has been providing comfort and delivering quality memorials in our community for the last 85 years.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Morgan.
And I'm Nicole Cornacchia Morgan.
Owners of Mohawk Valley Monuments. We pride ourselves in continuing to deliver the highest standards of workmanship and customer service. We strive to make things easier for you while still showing your family the utmost of respect.
Start a conversation about your wishes to help make it even easier on your loved ones. Call us today and we'll get prepared together.
Mohawk Valley Monuments has experience with all the local cemeteries. From simple grave markings to intricate family mausoleums, they give everyone the same personalized service. For expert memorial design, call today, 315-724-7629, or go to mvmonuments.com. Mohawk Valley Monuments, LLC, Old Route 5S, just past the Kitless Restaurant in Frankfort.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson and Powersports of Utica. 35% off or 2-for-1 on all boots, hoodies, and big and tall. First bike night of the year, May 12th, with Showtime, Piggy Pants, plenty of cold beer. We'll see you there. Welcome to Powersports of Utica, where you can take home a brand new C4 600 four-wheeler with all-wheel drive, a winch, and power steering for $65.99. And join us May 12th for our first bike night featuring Showtime, Piggy Pants Barbecue, and plenty of cold beer.
Hello,
I'm Joanne Moskal, Chief Operating Officer for Hospice and Palliative Care. At Hospice, we often hear that caregivers think of hospice as giving up, but what they are really doing is giving their loved one the opportunity to make the most of the time they have together. When a patient is appropriate for hospice, they've already been diagnosed with a terminal illness. You are not giving up on your loved one. Instead, you are increasing their care by compassionate nurses to ensure they remain comfortable throughout their disease. We want to know what is most important to you and what a good day looks like to the patient and to you. Together, we will design the care you want on your terms. We often hear, we wish we had called hospice sooner.
Hospice and Palliative Care, servicing Oneida, Herkimer, and Madison County. Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford, 315-735-6484, or visit us at hospicecareinc.org. Hospice and Palliative Care. When you need us most.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, it's 7:44 on Wednesday morning. Lots to still get into here this morning, and including Ryan Nobles with all of what's going on with the southern border and all of that. We'll speak with Ryan later on. The Trump stuff. What else? I forgot. We haven't even talked about what's his name being Santos. Is it Santos?
Sanchez.
Sorry. Santos was the hypnotist who used to come here. Loved him. Sanchez charged, and we'll get to that coming up in a second. Mike is in Schuyler. Hello, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
All right, you ready? I'm going to give away some money here. It's a chance for you to win Hobica's free money question of the day from Joseph and Andrew Hobica. And for your legal needs, 315-724-1600. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Are you ready? Here's your question.
Yes, I am.
New York Yankees, now New York Mets catcher Gary Sanchez was born where? Ready, go.
Dominican Republic.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Ooh.
I knew I was wrong.
Herkimer. He was born in Herkimer, New York. Did you know that?
No.
He's born in Herkimer?
Herkimer, New York. Yeah. Yeah, that's not true. He was born. He was born.
I can't believe it.
He was born in the Dominican Republic. Congratulations. You
Bing.
finally walked away with a win. Mike, you've won $100 in cash. There you go. You get the horn.
I won $100 in cash.
You won. You won.
I won?
You won.
Dominican Republic.
From the Dominican Republic. Oh, my God, he was?
Yes,
Are you
he
kidding
was.
me?
That's absolutely correct. Great guess.
That's great. Just like Gary Sanchez.
Holy cow. Holy cow. I can't
holy
believe
cow. You can go with cow, but not the other one there. So. Yeah, hey.
Oh, my God.
Just like Gary Sanchez, Mike has an English language translator right next to him at all times.
He does. That was great guess, and you were very unsure of yourself. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the obvious answer. But when there's an obvious answer, you're like, it couldn't be that.
I know.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
You remember how we were talking a couple weeks ago about Ben Stiller and Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
Would you believe I went to Tivolo's the week before? Why did I pick that? Why did I pick that week?
You went the week before and you missed him.
I went the week before.
Yeah. Well,
and we actually,
I got to tell you, and the best part is your timing was perfect today because tomorrow's question is going to be really hard. But you got very lucky today, so that's awesome. All right, congratulations, Mike. You win.
Thank you very much. Right. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Very nice. Stand by, and Davey is going to take care of you. By the way, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is from Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Now is the time to think about iced coffees. We're going to have some warmer weather coming up as we go into the weekend. It'll cool off again a little bit, but not bad. I mean, upper 60s. But the weekend, next 3 days, looks really, really nice. Coffee, espresso, lattes, iced coffee. Get a box of coffee and take it to work. Fresh donuts and fresh bagels every day, and that drive-thru is lightning fast. Nobody does it like Chuck Sedella and the crew at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And was there one more thing I was going to mention? I guess there is, but it's
Big Honey.
it's
You want to
left
get to
me.
Big
Oh,
Honey?
Big Honey's comment quickly.
Okay, so
That's
Bill,
what it was.
Bill, we talked this morning about the border situation, and here was Big Honey's comment to that. Essentially, to recap, we agreed that it was a stunt. What was your? Because Big Honey agrees with you. What was essentially your feeling on Eric Adams and the busing of migrants to Democrats?
I'm whether Democrats did that, Republicans did that. I think I do believe you're using these people as pawns in a political stunt, and I don't agree with it. I just don't think that should be done, whether it's from Texas or Florida. And I get it. Texas especially is just being tortured by this. I just think it's the wrong move.
Big Honey
just
says,
my opinion.
Big Honey says, I completely agree with Bill. I don't want the migrants here either.
Unless they're working on your farm, Big Honey, legally. In studio right now is Mike Galimi, and good morning. He's running for mayor. He is the president of the Common Council in Utica. Michael, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. By the way, Joe this morning said, you got it wrong again. It's George Santos, not George Sanchez. What are you doing over there? Did I say George Sanchez? I probably did.
Wait, what?
Sorry. I'm all over the place. Do you know the complete street lines were painted?
Yes.
And it looks like they added bike lanes.
So I actually called the city engineer.
Yeah.
And spoke with him this morning about it because I wanted an answer.
Yeah. Are those bike lanes?
So according to the city engineer, and I am the messenger right now,
Okay.
and I am going to call the people who passed this
Yeah.
throughout the day. I'm going to figure out what's actually going on here.
Yeah.
That is considered by the engineering department traffic channelization. But
Okay.
yes, it does look like to me that they did put down exactly what they tried. And the original trial, they were calling those bike lanes. So my question now is...
Now they're there, but we're just not going to call them bike lanes?
Well, so that's part of the issue,
That's
right?
the craziest thing,
It's a door opening lane. We
Right.
have a special lane for those parked on the side of the road.
It's like
Open
having
their door.
a restaurant where you can only have 100 people in, but you set up 10 more tables, and you're like, we don't call them tables. This is where we stack the
That's shared
containers or
eating
something.
space.
Shared eating space. I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, so in all seriousness, though, I've been talking about process through this whole
Yeah,
thing since
yeah.
it started last October, and communication.
Yeah.
And the ability to act on what the council is stating in their legislation, et cetera. So that, again, will be called into question today by many. I know that a lot of different people called me yesterday, and a lot of people are calling the mayor about this. So I went right to the source this morning and gave the city engineer a call, and he claims, or well, he doesn't claim it. He stated that is traffic channelization. But
Okay.
my issue with that, and this is what I've been talking about since the beginning of this, if we're telling bicyclists, if we're telling runners, the council,
Yeah,
et cetera,
yeah.
that they could be doing certain things, but then you paint the roads and you call that traffic channelization.
How are they going to
as
know
far
the
as
difference?
well, here's the thing: as far as traffic law goes, those bicyclists need to be part of the traffic with the cars downtown right now, even though there's 3 lanes.
Right.
And if they're riding in this channelization buffer zone,
Oh my
that isn't
God.
where they should be.
Right, right.
They should be in front of me if I'm driving my car.
Right.
And if I'm on my bicycle, my mountain bike riding to work this summer, I will be in front of or behind a car in a lane because that's
Yeah.
the safest place for me
Yeah.
because I need to obey the traffic laws when on my bike too.
Just like a car would. Okay, this is
So
just
yeah, it's just another chapter
one-
of why this process should have been driven appropriately from day one. The other thing I wanted to mention
from the mayor's office.
From the mayor's office,
Okay.
and the council. Whoever
Yeah.
proposes this, you need to get together with the administration, which I may be the administration. I plan on being the administration in January, and stand in front of these plans. You know, for better, for worse, right?
Yeah.
And you need to explain things to the public and communicate. And that's as simple as that. Zero communication.
Okay. By the way, something's missing today. I don't know what it is with you.
So,
I don't know. You look different.
I look different?
Don't you think?
It could be some pounds.
His mustache
Could be
is
some
gone.
weight.
He shaved
Could be
his
some
mustache.
weight.
You know what?
Between door to door.
It's your cameraman.
Oh, yeah.
Matt's not here.
Matisowski's not
Yeah.
here. I believe he's setting up the odd. You know, the thing is,
You've had a camera person. I'm wondering.
He's with me all the time.
He is
doing this documenting thing. So,
are you doing a documentary on your run?
So,
because he's got enough footage just in the studio alone.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
He is. I gave him artistic license to
That's
do a documentary
really cool.
of what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
He's a wonderful photographer.
He
a
is,
videographer.
and he's a wonderful. He creates documentaries for people.
Yeah.
Okay, he documents process. He documents engineering process. Even he does a lot of different things. MV Pictures, and while MV Pictures is going to produce the ads and the different commercial product that I need for the campaign, like he did in 2015 and 2019. Some of the videos we're releasing, like the walk through Roscoe Conkling Park that I did. They're all unprepared from my standpoint.
What is the walkthrough? Explain what that is.
We walked up to the Eagle, Roscoe Conkling Park, and the way this works is Matt just called me. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going door to door. I'm over in North Utica." It was like 6:45. He said, "Okay, well, meet me at Oneida Street. You're always discussing different points about how the city needs to re-engage the community and reinvigorate the parks to make sure those spaces are accessible to people and usable, et cetera, and we take care of them." So we're going to walk up, to the Eagle from Oneida Street, and I'm just going to ask you questions, and you're going to talk. And that's how it works.
That's really cool.
The
I like it.
So the documentation part of the campaign is totally just off the cuff.
Okay.
And then
you don't have prepared questions or like right
exactly.
now.
Yeah.
Manaski.
So it's a good time.
Okay, so I have a
thought
question.
you were going to say something.
I have a question here from Lance.
Yeah.
A question for Galimi. Yesterday, you mentioned something about a candidate defaulting on a federal loan. Could you please explain what you meant by that?
Okay, so I did not talk about a federal loan. I just talked about a loan in general to the city. So in an interview yesterday, we did talk about a lot of great things like public safety, how we deal with economic development, et cetera, as far as the administration goes. But then my opponent was on questioning me about different things, so they asked me. So I started comparing us as candidates.
Yeah.
And the loans that were not repaid by my opponent.
Was
in
it
the
a
80s
business? It was a business loan.
It was a business loan from the
yeah.
city to a business, and it was not repaid. I think there was a renegotiation. The renegotiation was also not paid. So that came up on the radio yesterday. Yeah.
So I think this came up the last time that Bob had run, and I believe that when the economic development, when they loan to people, it's a high-risk loan usually. You hope the business works, but if the business fails, sometimes it's very difficult to collect the money on the loan. And I believe that's what happened in Bob's situation.
Right.
In defense of him.
In defense of him, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And, I'm being tactful about it, but it's the reality. And the way it came up was the fact that this is a primary, and we have two candidates on the ballot in the Republican primary. One, which is myself. I've been council president for 8 years. I've been working with the administration. Lived in Utica my whole life, on multiple community boards. Always committed to my family. Coaching baseball, just a part of this community. And now I want to take that step and become the mayor of Utica.
Are you saying that you've never defaulted on a loan?
Well, so I was comparing. On the other side, we have, and you just said high-risk loans. We have more of a high-risk candidate, okay? We have a situation where this is somebody who has run for mayor multiple times, left the state after running, changed parties, gone back and forth. I did bring up the fact that there is some situations in the past where there were bankruptcies and loans that were defaulted on to the city. Which those are tools people use in the business world, right?
No doubt.
But the reality is,
President Trump would say that makes him a smart businessman.
Right.
Believe me. I use the system.
But, the point is that is my opponent's history, and it should be considered when comparing us.
Have you ever operated a business?
I have never owned a business. No, I have not.
All right.
No, I have not. Except for when I mowed lawns when I was 11.
Okay,
you dragged my mower
you were
all
an
over
early,
the place. Yeah.
an early entrepreneur. Okay, very nice.
So that's the reality of it. And the other thing that did come up in the interview yesterday, since we're listing all this stuff off, is, as a mayoral candidate and as the mayor in January when I take office, I want to change the tone completely of how we drive this city forward from a personnel management standpoint, from a professionalism standpoint, as far as how we communicate with the residents, the private sector, the different organizations in the community. I'm going to be very upfront, communicative, and just a stand-up person who maintains integrity in all situations. The reason that came up is the current school board situation.
I was going to ask you about that. Do you have an opinion on, talk about integrity, these tapes that we've played, the report that is out? It's some disagree. Some say, it's like the good old days. I don't know. But it seems pretty horrific.
No, it is. It's wrong, and it's something that, as a society, we've been trying to bleed out of the workplace for years.
Yeah.
I deal with this as a personnel manager, and I'm not.
Can you imagine using those words, calling people those names in your workplace?
No.
Your workplace?
No. One, no. Two, the intent of why the words we're using were even worse.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
What do you mean by that?
So, one could argue, like Bill was saying, some people are saying, "Oh, it's the good old days," blah blah blah. No. It is not the good old days. You have people being horrible to humans, and then you have other people, which is why this came up yesterday, who are standing with that person who I happen to be running against in a primary, who are not outwardly saying this is wrong, and the behavior's wrong, the way it was dealt with was wrong, covering it up was wrong, everything was wrong.
You think Bob should come out and speak out about Bruce Karam?
Well, Bob is on the school board, okay? And as a resident, I would like the school board member who did look at the report. I understand that the board was not provided, like, the audio tapes when they had to vote and do different things, but there was a report from a legitimate source saying these things
report
happened.
we read the report, it's scathing.
Right, that's my point. And
Yeah.
that report was provided to them before they started talking about this as a board.
Yeah.
So...
And it's kind of hard to say that it's you have in most cases 4 to 7 witnesses per accusation.
Right. And the reality is,
according to the
I never want to
investigator.
find myself on the wrong side of an accusation that I did not commit.
Okay.
Okay. But this is pretty blatant right now. There have been audio tapes released. There's multiple witnesses that are credible. There's multiple people coming forward. And as a board, you have to deal with that. You have to make a decision. And the reality is, in the workplace, you don't wait for some court case or civil ruling that it actually happened. You have to deal with that as a manager.
Yeah.
You have to set the tone in the workplace. And that's exactly one of the reasons I'm running for mayor as well.
To be fair, Bob last night did vote to keep Bruce Karam on. There's a contract issue, and it's...
Of course. And they
it's
have to deal with a
complicated.
contract issue.
But Bob did vote last night to keep him on paid administrative leave.
He voted to keep him on paid administrative leave.
Yes. With the rest of the board, with the exception of, I believe, Don Dawes did not, though.
I was on the baseball field all day yesterday, coaching baseball. So I did not watch the meeting.
Yeah.
But my issue with this has to do with the mayoral campaign.
Fair enough.
I'm running against somebody who is willing to come on the radio and say, I'm okay with this. I watched the interviews when he's on this show.
Yeah.
Okay. He knew this was going on. And guess what? I don't care if the guy's your best friend. You need to pull him aside and say, this is wrong, and I'm not standing with you publicly on this. Because if you don't act that way, even if it is your best friend, you're only cultivating a society of bad behavior. And that's what I'm running against right now. I'm running against a society of bad behavior, and I'm sick of it. This is why I'm running for mayor. I want young people in this city to have an administration and to have a city government that's led by professionals, led by people with integrity, led by people who, no matter what you're disagreeing over, can sit at the same table and hash it out and move the city forward.
That is the documentary promo, but he's not here to record it this morning, unfortunately.
What a morning to not have your photographer
That's all
here.
right. It's okay. You guys got good audio. We'll peel it off.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Okay, Mike Bellini, interesting, and we'll get a reaction from Bob Cardillo. We appreciate
maybe
it.
not.
Maybe not.
Are you gonna play the role of Bob Cardillo again?
Is he going to debate me on the show?
He's
asked multiple times.
I will do it if you're willing. Let's schedule it right now.
Let's do it.
We'll name it. Let's do it sooner than later.
Sooner than later.
The
That's a good
next, in the
schedule.
next 3 weeks, we'll have a debate between you and Bob Cardello here.
All right.
All right. We'll reach out to him
Cool.
today. Mike Galimi, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck out there, and be careful.
Couple things real quick.
Okay.
Baseball. Little League Baseball started. We had our opener at
Very
Main
nice.
Field
All
on
right.
Saturday. We had over 400 people on the field, and it's great to see the kids out there. We have 6 T-ball teams. We have 5 minor B teams, 5 minor A teams, 5 Little League teams. We have a
In the
ton-
whole city?
It is the whole
Okay.
city, but it's more than last year. It's more than the year
it's up.
before.
Okay.
You got to remember, baseball in Utica is absolutely growing, and there's tons of kids playing, but it's never going to be 15 teams in South Utica again, 15 teams
Okay.
in East Utica again. That's not the case.
Okay.
But it's big. It's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
And we're playing the games now in North Utica. If you see a lot of activity over there, the public's welcome to see the games as well. We got concessions running. It's awesome. The county at Murnane hosted the opener that we did. It was great to see the kids in the field. They had a blast with that. They're all playing now. And then Blue Sox. Blue Sox are going again, all right? And then I wanted to say something, which is pretty cool. I'm throwing the first pitch out as
You
council
are.
president for their first home game on June 3rd.
Very nice.
So that's going to be cool, man. So
All
I want people at that Blue Sox game. We got baseball in Utica.
Congratulations.
June 3rd.
All right.
All right.
Well, I
Mike?
better be close to the plate because I won't call it a strike.
Talk about nerve-wracking. I can play the national anthem, fine, all day long.
Throwing out that ball.
One pitch, that's
Yeah.
nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Good luck. Don't screw it up. Good luck. Don't screw it up. Because Matt will be there taping that.
He will.
Along with everybody else with their iPhones. All right, I got a break. Manaski has news. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 8:04.
Hi, I'm Jill Hayes.
And I'm Scott Hayes from New York Sash.
Scott, we've been saying, let our family take care of your family for years. But we don't often stop to explain what that means.
Good point. I hope it speaks for itself. At New York Sash, family is everything, and it's how we treat our customers, too.
Exactly. So, for example, if you need windows, siding, or bathroom, we'll make sure to get you the best products at the right price, and we're committed to doing the job right. We aren't happy until you are.
Being invited into people's homes is something we take very seriously. And over the years, thousands of families in our community have trusted us for help with their homes. And now they're part of the New York Sash family, too.
So if you ever need help, trust us to be there for you, just like family. We're ready to help because that's our promise when we say, let our family take care of your family.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson and Powersports of Utica. 35% off or 2-for-1 on all boots, hoodies, and big and tall. First bike night of the year, May 12th, with showtime, piggy pants, plenty of cold beer. We'll see you there. Welcome to Powersports of Utica, where you can take home a brand new C4 600 four-wheeler with all-wheel drive, a winch, and power steering for $65.99. And join us May 12th for our first bike night featuring showtime, piggy pats barbecue, and plenty of cold beer.
We have some morning sunshine, 44 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:06. This news update is brought to you by My Carl's Memorial Day Sale. It starts now. Showrooms full of amazing deals, sofas, recliners, bedroom sets, dining sets. Why wait for Memorial Day to save? Shop My Carl's in the New Hartford Shopping Center and Destiny USA. A Utica woman charged with DWI and other charges after causing damage at a cemetery in New Hartford. Police say 30-year-old Nicole Washington was under the influence on Seneca Turnpike early yesterday morning, in fact, when her vehicle went through a fence and into the Green Lawn Cemetery. The vehicle knocked out several headstones, which will now need to be fixed. No word yet on an estimate for how much it will cost to repair those headstones. The future of Vernon Downs may be in jeopardy without action by Governor Kathy Hochul and the state legislature. A press statement from Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw on Tuesday read that she had been notified by constituents of the possible closing of Vernon Downs in stages if the legislative and executive branches cannot find a solution to supporting another tax credit extender. She says, I have worked endlessly with colleagues in the legislature in the past and will continue to do so to assist Vernon Downs to remain open. Her number one priority remains the employees and their families. Now, Vernon Downs has previous tax agreements with the state that allowed them to redirect tax revenue from video lottery terminals to money to renovation and enhancement of the Vernon Downs property. The Governor's Traffic Safety Committee revealing the results of the recent No Empty Chair education and enforcement campaign from April 24th through the 28th. Police increased patrols near schools in an effort to help keep students safe. More than 38,000 tickets were issued for distracted driving, speeding, and impaired driving. The goal of the No Empty Chair campaign is to raise awareness among young drivers so that there aren't any empty chairs during prom and graduation season. And a popular rapper and movie star has joined the growing list of artists who are going to be performing at the New York State Fair. Ludacris will be taking the Suburban Park stage on Thursday, August 31st at 8 p.m. There is no cost to see his concert, as it is included as part of the admission to the State Fair. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast comes to you from Eyewitness News. Looking at nice sunshine today. We do have a chance of a pop-up shower tomorrow. We'll have full details on that forecast from meteorologist Craig Flint.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint at the WIBX Weather Center today. Plenty of bright sunshine, warmer, breezy at times in the afternoon, high near 70. Tonight, mainly clear sky, low of 45. And tomorrow, mostly sunny sky, warmer, mainly dry, only the small risk of a brief pop-up afternoon shower, especially north, a high near 75. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Bill, we're up to 46 and some sunshine at 8:09.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce, this is our intern, and you didn't think I'd remember his name. Ladies and gentlemen, Devin Soros. Here he is right now. Did I get that right?
Furpo.
Damn it all. Damn it all. Okay, here we go. Mr. Furpo with sports.
All right. The Devils are on the brink of elimination. New Jersey was blown out by the Carolina Hurricanes 6-1 in Game 4 of its best-of-7 second-round series. Jack Hughes opened the scoring just under 2 minutes into the first period with his 6th goal of the postseason. Vanek stopped 12 of the 17 shots he faced, and Akira Schmid managed to save 11 of the 12 shots he saw. The Devils now trail the Hurricanes in the series 3-1 and will look to extend their season when they visit Raleigh for Game 5 tomorrow night. The New York Rangers continue to shake up their coaching staff. According to the Post, assistant coach Mike Kelly and Jim Midgley have been relieved of their duties. Gord Murphy and director of goaltending Benoit Allaire are expected to remain with the team. And the changes to the staff are just 3 days after the organization and the head coach Gerard Gallant mutually agreed to part ways. The Knicks are hoping to stay alive when they host the Heat in Game 5 tonight at Madison Square Garden. New York is still trailing its best-of-7 second-round series 3-1. The Knicks could once again be without key member of their backcourt guard Emmanuel Quickley. Is once again listed on the injury report as doubtful with a sprained left ankle. If New York pulls out a victory, the series will shift back to Miami for Game 6 Friday night. Former Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III is expected to plead guilty tomorrow to a deadly car crash in 2021. Court records show Ruggs reached a plea agreement with the prosecutors and will serve between 3 to 10 years in prison if it's accepted by the judge. Police say Ruggs was speeding over 150 miles per hour on a residential road when he crashed into another car, killing the driver and their dog. Ruggs' blood alcohol level was twice Nevada's legal limit, according to the police. And finally, the college football playoff national champion Georgia Bulldogs have declined an invitation to the White House. In a statement, the school said it received an invite earlier this month to make the visit on June 12th. That date is not feasible given the student-athlete calendar and time of year, according to the athletic department. Georgia defeated Texas Christian back in January to capture its second straight national title and finish the season 15-0. The team didn't make the White House trip last year due to COVID-19 restrictions.
Can we? Oh, go ahead. I just.
I don't know why this is playing. I don't even have it potted up. This board's falling to pieces. Can you hear it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got it all the way potted down. Here, let's see. Oh, I don't know. It's playing over here. That's why. I'm hitting the board. I don't get it. Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
Flight of the Bumblebee. I feel like that's the George Santos theme song. It should be his theme song. Every time they try to interview him, he's always has somewhere to go. You ever notice? He's always moving all over the place. He was charged yesterday.
Santos with what?
With what was the? Actually, you know what? John Decker actually predicted it. He's facing federal charges, and the official charge is exactly what John called for. Faced outrage and mockery over a litany of fabrications about his heritage. It's campaign. I believe it's campaign finance. What is it? Why have I lost it? Anyway, federal charges yesterday, something John Decker predicted was going to happen.
Okay, two things here quickly. This came from Sam as a follow-up to her interview this morning. She said, can you please mention for me, Proctor Varsity is now 11-2 and on a 10-game winning streak. They are coached by Dave Guido and Steve Strife. So,
okay.
I wanted to pass that on. Can we quickly discuss? Well, we'll start with the federal charges. Letitia James is now in on this NFL thing. Actually, we're going to talk about this in a minute, so I'll wait a second on that. We've got our lawyer friend on the phone. And the other thing was the White House. Georgia going to the White House, Georgia Bulldogs. They've declined the invite.
Yes.
I don't care who the president is. Those young athletes might never get an opportunity to visit the White House again. Forget who the president. They said the schedule's busy. They're too busy. Yeah. All the players, none of the players can go. Everybody's too busy to visit the White House.
Yeah.
I mean, again, people have done this when Trump was there, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to go because I hate Trump." And this sounds to me like a "we don't like Biden" thing. It's the president of the United States. You're not. People.
It'll be okay.
I don't have a good answer.
It'll be okay, Jeff. It'll be okay. All right. But you're right. I do believe we should be looking at things beyond politics, especially when you're a college student or you've accomplished something really great. A photo op with any president of the United States, whether it's Trump or Biden, should be something you're not turning down.
And
that's what you're saying.
And not even a photo op. It's an opportunity to experience something you've never experienced.
Right.
Go ahead. I know we're moving on.
Andrew Reed is our legal expert here. Do you want to comment on that, Andrew? Good morning. Thanks for coming on here.
It's one. Every school and every athlete has their choices they can make.
Yes. You're right. Okay, fair enough. They can make those decisions, and the students are going to have to live with it, whatever it is. Some will agree, some will disagree. All right, here's how we work this with Andrew Reed. We throw out legal topics, and Andrew, you give us a breakdown, if you could. Let's start with topic number one. In Oregon, lawmakers wanted to criminalize homeless camps and allow unhoused people to sue if they are forced to leave. Oh, boy. What do you think of this?
Yeah, so this act that has been proposed and is being debated currently in their House is
no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended there. It's it's really going to focus on their definition of public property and public land. Because really what this boils down to is they're just saying everyone has a right, in particular the homeless have a right, to be on public land, public property, and take refuge there, whether that means they're sleeping in a tent, under a shelter, on a bench that's on public property, whatever it may be. If they are on public property or public land, then they are okay to be there. And if somebody tries to force them to leave, either through harassment or even other types of activities, then a person trying to force them to leave could face up to $1,000 fine per instance.
You know, here's my question.
Meanwhile, you still in order to have a parade, you're gonna have to have a permit.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Here's my question, Andrew.
I'd like you to respond to that. Could you?
Yeah, it's one. This is one of those. It's going to come down to how the language is actually defined.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, with a lot of laws, that's actually really what it boils down to. How is the language defined? Because for one person, it may mean one thing. For another, it may mean another. So you got to know what the legislature is intending there.
And what's interesting is it's not like we're talking about people demonstrating their free speech and their freedom of demonstration. These are people who are living on public property,
defecating in the park.
There should be a difference, but I don't know. It's going to be, and you're right. It depends on how they write the law.
Also, public right of way, like for instance, between the street and the front of your porch, there's an area there that's public right of way. So I'm wondering if that would be included in it as well.
Yeah. Do you want to comment any further on this one, Andrew?
It's one that that exactly is the point of what is going to be included as part of that public right-of-way, that public land, public property, that people, these homeless or others, they're trying to take advantage of this law, that where they will be camping, sleeping, resting, doing whatever they are doing.
Yep. Let's go to topic 2. I'm glad to see in Michigan there's nothing going on. The legislators there have introduced a bill to ban balloon releases. Oh, boy.
Yeah, and actually this one, if you know a little bit of the background of the reasons for this, it actually in some ways makes sense.
Okay.
So a lot of times when people go and release these balloons for these celebrations or memorials of people, unfortunately they go up, they pop, and they land on some person's property. Unfortunately, a lot of times that's out in land that's used for agriculture.
Right.
So you have animals there ending up eating these balloons, which usually causes them harm of some kind, even in some cases death. And so that's really what the Michigan legislature is just saying, hey, guys, we got to stop this because it's actually harming the agricultural system.
And I'm assuming if they pass the legislation, they can stop it, right?
If they do pass this, then yes, this would become law. Right now, it hasn't been scheduled for a vote, but we will see if it actually does come up.
Okay.
And they do give some exceptions. So like weather balloons, hot air balloons, balloons that are used for atmospheric monitoring, I believe was the language I saw in one of the reports. Those will be exempted from it.
Speaking with Andrew Reed, our legal segment here, 3 topics, and we're up to number 3. And Attorney General in New York, the Attorneys General of New York and California announcing they're investigating allegations of workplace discrimination at the NFL. What do you think?
Yeah, so this one is one of those. The NFL had been warned that there was some concern that there was some discrimination and potentially some pay equity violations for certain states that had those laws. And so now California and New York have said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and investigate this. We believe that there's some merit to some of these. And some of the numbers that have been thrown out in terms of what was put out in these reports is saying that there's issues with complaints from minorities and women in particular with regarding employment at the NFL. So that's where these attorney generals are saying, you know what, let's go and investigate. This is a big employer. We need to make sure everything's on the up and up.
Okay. Interesting. The NFL should be subjected to the same laws that everybody else, every other business is subjected to, right?
Correct.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, Andrew, we appreciate your input. Hey, did you see that story of the woman that was writing a children's book to help children deal with grief after she lost her husband?
It's one I have seen the headline. I have not had a chance to read the story yet.
Yeah, now she's been arrested for killing him. Yeah, that's interesting. Great cover. I've always wanted to use a children's book as cover for my crime. Think about that. Interesting. Thank you, Andrew. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome. Glad to be on.
Okay, thank you. Here's audio on this. She was from Utah, wrote a children's book, coping with grief after the death of her husband, was charged. She has been charged now with murder earlier this week. Authorities believe that Corey Richens killed her husband by poisoning him with fentanyl. Here is an interview from last month of her promoting her children's book.
So my husband passed away unexpectedly last year. He was 39. It completely took us all by shock. And we have 3 little boys. My kids and I kind of wrote this book on the different emotions and grieving processes that we've experienced last year.
How do you prove this? It's going to be interesting to see what evidence they have that she's responsible for it.
If that is true, I mean, that is so disgusting.
And did you see an end has occurred to MTV's MTV News? It's over now.
I didn't know it was still going on.
They were still doing it either. MTV News has been forced to shut down after 36 years as part of layoffs at their parent company, Paramount. Let's go back to some of the hard-hitting news over the years that MTV has been involved with. This goes back to 1988.
I'm Kurt Loder. This is MTV News. For the first time since Wham toured here 3 years ago, George Michael will be playing outdoor stadiums in the U.S. on the just-announced final leg of his current tour. These are the October dates, and as you can see, with the exception of the Summit Arena in Houston, all the shows are at 50,000-plus football stadiums. Meanwhile, Michael's Monkey single has just arrived at the top of the Billboard chart, putting him in the rarefied company of Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston, the only other performers to score 4 #1 singles from the same album. That's the news for now. Stay tuned for more music on MTV.
MTV News. You hear it first.
Yeah, well, that's hard-hitting news right there.
Yeah.
Remember, Kurt Loder did all that. Now it's been shut down. You're starting to see also a lot of these programs are going on repeat now because of the writers' strike. Tonight, the late shows and all that, late night TV, all of this stuff being shut down. How long is this gonna last? They say if it gets to be like July, then it's going to affect the fall schedule. So we'll be seeing repeats for a long time.
Yeah, it's really disappointing.
All right,
you look for a lot of that entertainment to take your mind off some of the stuff that's going on in the world, and certainly we don't have it now. And this Oregon story just drives me nuts.
Right,
but I know we got other stuff to get.
Stand by. I'll come right back here. Chuck Lester coming up in a second wants to pipe in. You want to talk about whatever we're talking about here today or this week. 315-736-0186 is the phone number. We'll come back and take some calls. Right now, it's Steve Ponte Mazda. The Move to Mazda sales event is back, and Ricky Z is all about taking care of customers when they walk through the door. Right now, you can enjoy 2.9% APR financing up to 36 months on all new 2023 CX-30s, Mazda CX-5s, and Mazda CX-50s. Enjoy 0% APR financing up to 36 months on the new 23 Mazda CX-9s. It's the Move to Mazda sales event from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Hi, I'm Pete from Big Apple Music, and whether it's your home or business, you have a lot invested. In the past, a camera surveillance system was an expensive luxury. Big Apple has now made it affordable. Big Apple is the area's leader when it comes to camera surveillance systems, having installed hundreds locally in homes and businesses. Big Apple is New York State licensed for security and camera surveillance, with most of our products sourced from American companies. Featuring Starlight Night Vision, our cameras dollar for dollar have the best night vision available. A camera surveillance system can offer full property coverage. It prevents and reduces crime, monitors high-risk areas like parking lots and showrooms, and Big Apple has a fully set-up showroom to give you real-time, realistic demonstrations of just how great a camera system can be for you. Stop in and see for yourself at Big Apple Music in New Hartford.
Honey, why are you peeking out the window and spying on the neighbors?
I can't stop watching what they're doing to their house. Look at that. They added a sunroom and put in a pool. Do you think they won the lottery?
No, not the lottery. Julie and Jeff got a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank. They're using the equity from their home to renovate.
Really?
Yes, Adirondack Bank has home equity rates as low as 3.99% annual percentage rate. You can access the equity in your home to fund almost anything.
Huh. Maybe we should call Adirondack Bank. What about a new kitchen? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the roof. Oh, and even take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about. And, of course, I need a new car.
Slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank.
Stop into your local Adirondack Bank for more information on home equity loan rates as low as 3.99% APR. Or call 877-404-2265 for credit costs and terms. Apply today at AdirondackBank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools ready to learn, destined to lead.
We invest in Herkimer and Oneida counties.
We work with the community to make things better for old and young alike.
Today, tomorrow, and in the years to come.
Every day, we put the community's long-term savings to work.
Who are we?
We are the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida counties.
FoundationHOC.org.
We're your community foundation.
Working to build a vibrant region
with opportunity for all.
The IBEW Local 43 and the National Electrical Contractors Association have been a part of Central New York for over 100 years. The IBEW state-of-the-art training facility offers classroom instruction as well as everyday on-the-job construction training. From the Carrier Dome to our local hospitals, malls, schools, and city buildings, Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 will continue to help light, power, and grow our community.
IBEW Nika.
Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation. If you're looking for a cooling option for the summer, as we begin to warm up and, everybody's saying it's going to be hotter than normal this year, call on Fred F. Collis & Sons for the options. There are options out there. Obviously, you could add central air. Easy if you already have the ductwork. If you don't, you might want to consider ductless mini splits. With temperatures rising, think about this option to stay cool yet keep your energy bills lower. And there are incentives and rebates for installing energy-efficient mini-splits in your home. Collis can help. They'll navigate these programs and make sure you save on a new system. In some cases, people have paid up to 100%. The government has paid up to 100% on people in their investment. Spring also means allergy season. Collis provides a number of indoor air quality solutions like air purifiers, and you should consider a duct cleaning so that you can enjoy a more comfortable and healthier living space. Fred F. Collis & Sons has great career opportunities as well. For insulation installers, they're seeking a crew leader for the insulation team. Head over to their careers page at fredfcollis.com to learn more and apply. Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, we'll take any comments you might have. I feel like Galimi was calling out his opponent and asking for a debate and asking for him to come out on the school board issue. I thought he was quite peppy this morning. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
Yeah. So Chuck Lester's on the line right now. Any comments you might have on any of this? 315-736-0186. I have a ton of other comments to get to, but Chuck Lester, good morning. Good morning.
Hi, Bill.
Are we on is this the topic of Hennessy? Mike Hennessy has been knocked off the ballot because of signatures. Now, we had heard from someone last week that it was a mess. Like a lot of these signatures, it was a disaster. And
well, I don't know anything about his thing. All I know is when
you've been knocked off.
I've had petitions. I've been petitions challenged 3 times. The first time was way back a bunch of years ago when they threw out petitions because an address was listed wrong. Now, instead of being Fifth Ave, it was listed as it was Fifth Ave instead of listed as Third Ave.
Okay.
And an address that's ridiculous. And I understand, but there's no districts in Ilion. So what difference would it make if the guy lived at Fifth Ave or lived at Third Ave? But listen.
Okay, sorry.
They were challenged for free. So in order for us to take it to court, it would literally cost thousands of dollars in filing fees and lawyers' costs. And that really prohibits a lot of people from standing up for the petitions. And it happened to us this time in Ilion. Yes, we made clerical mistakes, but clerical mistakes did not diminish the fact that people signed our petitions.
Well, but you got to.
Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I disagree with you on this because I think that they've set a threshold, a standard, And in order to be on the ballot, you have to meet that standard. And if you don't meet that standard, then you don't get on the ballot. That's known in the beginning. The rules aren't floating rules. They aren't moving the goalposts here.
Have you ever read or even looked at the election rules?
I'm well aware of this whole process.
No, I'm asking you, have you ever picked up that
Yes.
that packet and read it cover to cover?
Yeah,
and know and understand everything that it says in there.
Well, that's why oftentimes that you'll find that some people will make mistakes. It's true, but it's important to know the rules. And there are plenty of people out there where you can get help. For instance, you don't have to have an attorney to challenge this. You could challenge without an attorney. You could go into court without an attorney, just like you could in any situation.
You don't go to court for free, Bill. There's filing fees.
I'm sure there are, but it's not going to cost you that much. I mean, it wouldn't cost that much. You can afford to that's all I'm saying. I just think if you can't get it right, then maybe you shouldn't be on the ballot. I don't love the system. I think it needs an update, but it's the system we have right now. So, you're entering the ball field with these rules. Be prepared to play by these rules.
And I understand what Chuck is saying, and Chuck, I appreciate you calling in. Go ahead.
Let me just throw this out there.
Okay.
We did not. I've run several times. I've never ever looked at anybody's petitions. Never.
All right. Well, that's
now listen,
your choice.
So listen, if there was clear violations on those petitions, why didn't the village clerk throw them out?
That part I don't know.
Why didn't the board, if they violated the rules on those petitions, which the last time around, after the fact we looked at them, there was tons of errors that they made.
I do think, though,
we did not look at them. So, in other words, if you violate the rules, as long as nobody calls you out on it, that's okay.
I believe that's
but if
what happens.
If you make mistakes and they call it out, then it's not okay. All I'm saying is that it's inherently unfair. It's very difficult to run for office. This is why people don't want to do it.
I disagree. I disagree with that.
Chuck, you're making me agree with Bill here, which is
that's not
angering me here.
I have been involved in many campaigns. I am not involved in the petition.
Run for office?
I am not involved in the petition. Chuck, I've worked on campaigns for 15 years.
God bless. Okay. That's great.
So, but I'm not but I don't do that work. So I don't do petition work.
I'm glad I'm out of it, to be honest with you. I'm just going to sit back and be a civilian.
But you got to be missing fighting with us. I mean, doesn't this feel good? You're fighting with me today. Don't you love it?
I'm not fighting with you, Bill. See, you get all emotional. You get all.
I'm not emotional at all. I'm not emotional.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm just using.
I do think I will say that you called me a flat earther for saying that I didn't believe that there was information that contradicted what you and the professor said about January 6th, when in fact they did come out with the video evidence and the shaman got released.
Okay.
So
first of all,
I'm not much of a flat earther as everybody thought.
First of all, there is no scenario, Republicans, Democrats, there is no scenario where January 6th was okay. It was horrific.
Yeah.
Right.
There again, I didn't say that January 6th was okay.
Well, that video that Tucker Carlson played was ridiculous. He was cherry picking things, and those Capitol. Listen to me. Those Capitol Police members were doing the best they could to try to maneuver. In some cases, they were luring people away from Congress, away from certain offices where they knew members were, and to imply that the Capitol Police were okay with what was going on that day is ridiculous. But we will never know anymore until Carlson picks up another job, another gig somewhere. And I don't remember calling you a flat earther. That doesn't seem to come out of my mouth often. I don't know. I don't.
It just sometimes you say stuff we don't even remember.
Okay. Maybe I did.
You know what?
Maybe I did.
I like calling into you because we don't always agree. I will say that we've had some times where we do agree.
Well,
so it is what it is.
So somehow you come around to agree with me. You enjoy that. Let's not call it fighting, the debate. You missed the debate, and you still have it. You still have.
I got to admit, Billy, I enjoyed my time on the various boards I've been on. Because I've done, we did the board members that I served with. We did really good things.
Yes.
We didn't get a lot of accolades. We didn't go around patting ourselves on the back. We just did stuff. And I served, gave up a lot of personal work time where I'm self-employed. When I don't work, I don't earn money.
Right.
And I attended multiple meetings in the middle of the day when other people weren't available. I gave up a lot of my time with my family to do the stuff I did. And I'm not looking for anybody to pat me on the back and say, great job. I did what I did. I served probably between 3 different boards, over 20 years.
Okay.
And that's enough. I did my time. And I just, I think that it needs to be easier for people to run. This way more people would get involved.
Okay.
And, it's kind of a tough situation.
I don't necessarily disagree with you on this. I feel like there should be a change. I don't know what it is, but there should be a change. But I'm just of the belief that this is the system you're getting into. And, and I got to tell you, it's on Hennessy to bring in, there are many well-knowledged people on the petition system.
Right.
And the process. There are people who know what they're...
The trouble...
let me finish. Please let me finish.
I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is there are a lot of people out there that you can get that aren't going to cost you or cost you a lot of money. They will assist you to get it done right. And he clearly went with this constitutional caucus and this whack pack of craziness out there. I'm telling you, these guys are nuts. They don't know what they're doing, and this is a perfect example.
I disagree that they don't know what they're doing. I mean, Jim Zecca's part of that crew. How does he not know? He's run.
I don't know. You got people signed. Jim Zecca, I believe, on one petition signed on one candidate signed 2 petitions. That would tell me he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm sorry.
Well,
it's just terrible. Come on. I mean, they let him down. They let Mike Hennessy down. That organization came on board, and Mike said to us, I appreciate, I know you say what you say about Zecca, but they're hard workers. Well, listen, you can work hard, Chuck, but if you ain't working smart, you got to pull down the plaster and start all over again. I thought I'd bring it into your area. Right?
I first off, I don't do plaster, but
sorry.
Good shot.
Okay, I tried.
The idea is, I just think that some of these things, the minor technicalities, when petitions are about signatures, they're not about numbering pages, staple them together, stuff like that. That's just, in my opinion,
fair enough.
That's pretty petty. But it's over and done with. And like I said, I'm living the dream. Spending time with my wife and kids and grandkids, and I saw my grandson's first T-ball game the other day. If you've never been to a T-ball game, Billy, you got to get there, man. It's just a riot.
Listen, been to many, and, it's
like herding cats.
It's unbelievable. And you know what, Chuck? It all ends in a tie. It's all nobody loses.
I'll tell you, man, it's just it's so much fun. My 2 granddaughters are in, they're part of that RISE organization out of Clinton.
Yeah, cool.
That does the dance stuff. And they're going to be at MVCC doing a dance, doing their stuff. And, this stuff is what life is all about. And I know someday maybe God will bless you with some grandchildren, and you can spoil them and have a good time just like I am.
Well, listen, we got a pool for our kids, and now I'm the only one in it. At some point,
I'm going to open my pool this weekend, my friend, and I'm going to crank up the heat pump so it's not in the 50s. I'll be able to get in there and swim a little bit.
All right. You enjoy that, Chuck. Thank you.
Okay.
You have a great day.
Hey, God bless America.
All right.
See ya.
Thanks so much, Chuck Lester from Ilion, and a former council member down there. Mr. Opinion.
I wanted to disagree with something that Chuck said along the way, but that ended so beautifully. I'll leave it alone.
I'll
leave it alone.
The only thing we could have done more was sing Kumbaya, right? I got a break. Hold on. Ryan Nobles from NBC is coming up. We'll speak with him. A ton of stuff going down right now, and whether it's the border or it's everything happening right now in Washington. We'll get to all of it coming up with Ryan. 841 at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson and Powersports of Utica. 35% off or 2 for 1 on all boots, hoodies, and big and tall. First bike night of the year, May 12th, with Showtime, Piggy Pants, plenty of cold beer. We'll see you there. Welcome to Powersports of Utica, where you can take home a brand new C4 600 four-wheeler with all-wheel drive, a winch, and power steering for $65.99. And join us May 12th for our first bike night featuring Showtime, Piggy Pat's Barbecue, and plenty of cold beer.
Hi, I'm John Martosh, and I'm running for the Utica School Board because I'm concerned about our children's education. The Utica School District ranks one of the lowest in New York State exams for math and English. Despite this poor performance, the current school board president, Mr. Habaika, wants to be reelected to continue to do more of the same. We had great teachers, but many say retaliation is the administration's response to teachers who pointed out needed changes. I will support parents, teachers, and administrators who want their voices heard when it comes to what their children are being taught. As I go door to door, parents tell me they want increased safety for students, transparency concerning the Utica School Board's $243 million budget, and concerns over the implementation of CRT. I, John Martosha, respectfully ask for your vote this Tuesday so I can help bring the changes, the accountability, and progress in improving graduation rates in our schools. It's a very important election, and I would greatly appreciate your vote.
Those April showers could bring May hot tubs. It's about time you treat yourself to a luxurious new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their huge showroom and choose from over 100 spas in stock and priced to move fast. This summer, get ready to relax. You deserve a brand new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their ginormous showroom inside Sangertown Square, New Hartford. Special financing available for credit qualified buyers. Strong Spas. Experience the difference for yourself. Hurry, these spas won't last.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but costs as low as $3 per dose? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at just $3 per dose. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but only $3 per dose. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Here at Lee Baldwin & Company, we're always doing the math, so we are asking everyone to take the 4% challenge. And here's how it works. You look at your savings, IRA, and other investment accounts and see if you are getting close to 4% interest on your cash. If not, just give us a call for a comparison of options available today. For your trouble, we will offer a cup of coffee for taking the time to hopefully have your money work harder for you. Oh, and don't forget to ask about even higher yielding CDs. Please call us at 315-734-1410 or visit our website at leibaldwin.com, Leigh Baldwin.com. We are a member of FINRA and SIPC, and all of our CDs are FDIC insured. So take the 4% challenge and have your money work harder for you. And as always, you do the dreaming and we'll do the math. LeeBaldwin.com.
Hey, listen, River Hills Properties continues to be the fastest growing real estate company here in Central New York because, why? It's about the services provided to every single person that lists with River Hills. And, by the way, the buyers get to reap the benefit. The buyers get to reap the benefit of all the services provided from start to finish. These are things that normally real estate companies don't do in the area. But Bill and Robin wanted to be unique and different and really aggressive when it comes to helping out people. So, yes, there's the lockbox. You could come in, take a look at a house. Your listing agent might take you through, check it out. And the listing agent that's representing the home, the owners, would not be there. That'll never happen at River Hills. If you're listing with River Hills, your listing agent is there every single time the house is shown. No one's going to roam through your home without someone there representing you. And that someone there, River Hills listing agent, is incredible when it comes to making sure all the lights are on, the house is set up. I even said the other day, if it means baking chocolate chip cookies, they'll do that. They'll do whatever it takes to put your best foot forward when you're showing the home. That's the River Hills way. You can ask our man Andrew. He'll tell you. That's the River Hills way. Barneville, Little Falls, Utica, and their website is River Hills Properties, LLC.com. I'll get through it. Call 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
And also, if you're looking for a place to go for Mother's Day, take mom out to a really nice lunch, dinner, brunch, something or other. Think about brand new It's a Utica Thing kitchen and bar, now open in the Big Lots Plaza in North Utica. You can call to make reservations for Sunday at 315-738-8946. Food is really good. The bar is awesome. I'm sure they'll have all the mimosas and those champagne-type drinks ready to go for you on Sunday. But it'd be a great place to say, Mom, we're going to check out this new place. We're taking you to It's a Utica Thing kitchen and bar.
When you say it's a Utica thing, you do not need to qualify it with the food is really good. I think that is a known thing. The reputation
it's the best of Utica
speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And that's if you're going to something branded. It's a Utica thing, though.
And if your mom is one of those, fun mothers, it's like, I'm not going there if they don't have a full bar. You tell her. You tell her. Everything's okay. They've got a full bar. You're going to be just fine.
There you go.
Fine and dandy. All right. We're not. It looks like Ryan might be called in on a live shot, so we might not be getting him. What are you doing, Davey? What are you doing? That hat you're wearing. What in the hell are you doing?
You sound like he was taking a Joe Biden nap in there.
Yeah, that's right. Huh?
Well, why do you have a Pirates hat on today?
Because this is just the first of many that I chose, and this was the first one that I grabbed.
All right, so are you in protest of the way the Yankees are playing?
No. He always does. He's always
He's
got
wearing
different
a different
teams,
hat.
yeah.
Okay.
But usually there's a reason behind it. Usually, if the Mets who are the Mets playing right now? Who are they getting their butts
Cincinnati.
kicked by?
I can't even believe that. And by the way, Devin, you did not mention Larry's all upset.
Yeah,
Larry is a Mets fan, but is so angry. Buck Showalter, by the way, got kicked out of the game yesterday, arguing. First time as a Met that he's been kicked out.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that they got beat. What was it, 7-6 the final?
Yes.
Terrible.
Do you know the Mets' record in the last 15 games?
They were down 6-1, I think.
The Mets?
And they came back.
Yeah.
And this is awful right now.
You know the Mets' record in the last 15 games?
I believe it's like 2-13.
Yeah, it's 3-12.
3-12.
So the Yankees are better than the Mets then right now.
Yeah.
Well, if that makes you feel good,
And the Yankees are on hot streak. They won 2 in
you
a row.
got to yell into that mic because I can barely. I got to get a preamp on that mic.
The Yankees have won 2 in a row because they're playing the Oakland A's. They could be playing the team better now than anybody.
I can't hear you.
Smitty's also got breaking news on the Bills.
Yeah, we're going to have to wake up early, Bill, on October 8th.
They're playing in London.
They're playing in London at 9:30.
Yeah, I know.
9:30. I mean, that's late for us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Show's over by 9:30.
My
But
wife
that will be a
like it
Sunday morning game.
By 1:00. We'll be. She'll be able to boss me around and tell me what to do. She's gonna love it.
Yeah, but we have to watch the Jets or the New England Patriots that day.
Can I ask a question about? We talked about this with the legal guy Andrew Reed this morning, and I wanted to rant about it, and then I held back. Look, I don't begrudge anybody who is falling on hard times, and they don't have a home. They're homeless. It's horrible. Okay.
Who are we talking about?
This was one of our topics with Andrew Reed.
Oh, okay. All right.
In the state of Oregon, lawmakers wanted to criminalize homeless camps and allow unhoused people to sue if they are forced to leave. So, Oregon lawmakers proposing a bill to criminalize homeless camps, allow unhoused people to leave. Okay, the Right to Rest Act, the Right to Rest, is sponsored by Democrats and will be debated during a hearing. If passed, the bill would grant unhoused parties the right to sue for up to $1,000 if they're harassed, the Washington Examiner reported. So they can sue for up to $1,000 if someone comes along and says, I know this is a public park, but you can't set up a camp and sleep here and live here. So they can sue the police department or a member of the public for saying that to them because it's harassment. Yet they're allowed to harass housed people, I guess we're calling them. And how would you sue them? They don't have any money. Okay, that's number one.
How are they harassing? I guess I don't understand the harassment part, but I don't think they should be able to just live there. I disagree with that legislation. It's ridiculous.
The other thing is, when we're talking about, again, I don't want to be offensive. I feel bad for these folks, but they're being classed as unhoused people. So where do they go to the bathroom?
Yeah, that's the problem, and it's a disaster.
Yeah.
We're dealing with these and the part is you think, well, we should be able to do better than this. Yes, we should, and I think that there are places where these people could go. The problem is they oftentimes don't want to go, and I don't know where. All of a sudden it's really cool. They've formed this community. We're coming out of the woods. We're gonna go over there and stay in more of a metro life. I don't get it. And I hate to say it, there is a business aspect to this. If you have a business there,
that's where I was getting with the harassment.
If you have a home there, your property values will be and it's just not. It's not the way we want to represent society, because people are going to look and say, "You Americans, you can't take care of people. You allow these people just to live outdoors." No, they choose to do that, and it just shows you the collapse of the mental health system in the United States. Is we're reaching a horrible peak post-COVID, and it's a real problem. And then you got these wishy-wash type politicians who just they aren't in reality. They're not thinking in terms of reality. And there's going to come a certain point where they're going to grow up and realize, wow, this is not. But I don't want this in my backyard.
Grow up and realize it. I wish they would do it sooner.
They don't see it right now. Did you know killer whales can mimic human voices? Did you know that?
That's incredible.
It's
that
true.
Might scare me more than AI.
It's true. It's true. Let's see. So here's a killer whale. A boat is going by, and you can clearly hear the killer whale say, "Get a real boat." I'm pretty sure. Listen in. Just listen.
Hello? Hello?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's really weird.
It is weird. That's
wild.
That's beautiful, though. Gosh,
that's incredible.
I love nature, huh? Unless there's a bunch of humans out there destroying it.
If it's crawling on you in the middle of the night, I love nature too.
Exactly.
Let's see. There was one other I wanted to talk about in music. This is a music story that popped up in my feed this morning here on National Shrimp Day. Yes, the Seafood Shrimp Day today. What is the greatest, longest song of all time?
It's
I'm sorry, the greatest long song of all time. So Ultimate Classic Rock made a list of rock and roll's best long songs.
Okay,
we were
surprise
going over
you.
this recently.
My guess is not CCR. It's either going to be, is Stairway to Heaven incredibly long?
Yeah, it's fairly long.
Also, Hotel California.
There's a CCR song when they did the Creedence's Hotel California. I don't think is that long, but it's long.
There's not an extended version that's like 8.5 minutes?
There might be.
Okay.
Might have been a live version that just kept going on and on. But CCR did a version of Heard It Through the Grapevine, which is really long.
Yeah.
That's a good long one. Many of their top picks filled entire album sides, so this is really long. Here's their pick for number one. It's the Allman Brothers Band.
You gotta call Jeff, not me, not us.
It's the Allman Brothers Band.
Oh, this sounds like trouble.
From their 1971 album, Live at the Fillmore East. It's their song, Whipping Post. And there is, here, just listen to this. This is... So this song,
Feel like I'm dying.
This song by the Allman Brothers is 22 minutes and 40 seconds.
Now, that's just their live performance of it, or that's how long the song actually was?
That's the song on the album.
Okay.
It is a live performance. Inagata de Vida was one that is always thought to be very, very long. American Pie is very, very long. In fact, when it was released, they split it up into part one and part two. But the single you oftentimes will hear on the radio is just part one of Don McLean's American Pie. But this going 22 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm going to tell you, When we were playing vinyl back in the day when I first learned how to do radio, that would have been good enough to go to the bathroom and drive down to McDonald's, get breakfast, come back, and you'd still have time.
And how long was that? It's got to be 17, 18 minutes, right?
To do that, I could have done that. Believe me, I could have done that during Lion Eyes by the Eagles, which is about 6.5 minutes long. You just got to know, get out there, have everything ready, and you fly.
Yeah, you literally fly.
Back then, when you were working all alone, you had no choice. We mentioned MTV's News. MTV News is gone. Kind of MTV is gone, right? It's just not the same thing as it used to be.
Is this in the same? With all due respect, but you've been chomping at the bit on this for a while. Is this the same category as the OD? When they officially close, you go, well, they've been closed for a while.
Yeah, they kind of have. I guess it's not certainly in our demo, but that's kind of the case.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go. We're back here tomorrow morning, and news is coming up straight ahead. Enjoy your day.
Hello, I'm Joe Hobica, and I'm asking for your vote for Utica School Board. As school board president, I've led the fight for a better Utica school district. During my term on the board, I've worked very hard on improving transparency, process, and procedure, which are important to students, parents, teachers, and taxpayers. Now, due to my efforts along with the board majority, checks and balances have now been restored to prevent wrongdoing. We've already put an end to no-show jobs. We now track every penny spent by the district. Overtime is monitored and abuse of the system is prohibited. And oh, by the way, we balanced the budget, filled needed positions, and did not raise taxes. And now I'm asking for your vote so I can finish the job. This vote is extremely important and your vote does count. On Tuesday, May 16th, please cast your vote for me, Joe Hobica, and help us continue the fight for Utica's schools. Voting is from noon until 9 p.m.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
This is Lynn from Warner Sales and Service. If you are push mowing your yard, using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see us at Warner Sales and Service on the Greenway New London Road in Rome, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona, and we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at warnerss.com.